So, we are now recording.
Love it.
This is all going so well, folks. So
Smooth.
well. All
I
right.
told you, technology.
Yeah. I have no delusions. I do certain things very well. I do certain things terribly. Let's hope I can do the DMing well enough. So, as with any adventure, you have to start somewhere, and as most dungeon masters will start a session or an adventure in a tavern, listening to the music of the band playing, having a few drinks, getting a sense of the world. No. Some DMs will have you start as you're entering into the city that is going to be the focal point of that particular session, and you get to see the world a little bit before the calamity happens. No. We're going to do my favorite way of starting a session, and that is you guys are already in combat. You've already begun a combat. We're already a couple rounds into a fight, and to represent that, I need everyone to roll a d12, and hope you roll low, because it is how much damage you are starting out with having taken.
Oh, oh no! Oh.
8.
8?
8.
Three.
Okay.
11.
Nice. Okay. Well, tonight's gonna go great. All right.
Woo!
I thankfully rolled a 3.
Here's my paper. Okay, so you guys are going to be tracking the amount of damage that you take yourselves. I'm going to be dealing with all of the other monstrosities that you have to face. So take the damage that you've just taken, and we will roll for initiative.
Look at roll.
Oh, nice.
Aaron?
Yeah, so
Roll.
I will explain it. Sorry. I should have mentioned. AP, on your character sheet, you will see next to the big shield that says AC, there is movement, and then there is initiative. Initiative is your ability to react quickly in combat and respond to danger. And so I need you to roll a d20 plus 4. Okay. Has everyone rolled their initiative?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Did anyone roll higher than a 20?
20.
You rolled a 20. Okay, so...
Well, 17 plus my 3.
Perfect. A dirty 20. Okay, and
Dirty 20.
with a 20. Anyone get between a 15 and a 20?
19.
19 from Ellery. Okay. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. 10 to 15.
Simon got a 14.
Simon got a 14. Okay. And Brom, how'd you do? What was that?
6.
Okay.
6.
Right, cool. I didn't hear that. Okay, 6. Good. That is going well for that. Sweet. So, we are going to start off with Anders in just a moment. You've taken a little bit of damage, but obviously you want to know what you're up against. So, you're inside the forest of Opia. It is late afternoon. The sun has not quite begun to set, but with how dense the trees are around here, there is an eerie feeling of shadow around most of the places. You can see some light poking through and creating some rays. Amidst the light fog that you can see along the ground, you see the two massive beasts that are confronting you. These are denizens of the forest, and they are none too happy about you being in it. Before you, you see two large white-furred gorillas with forearms,
Okay.
as they are just bashing and beating on the ground around you. They are grabbing logs and throwing them about to essentially get rid of you four, but you are here in the forest for a reason. So, right now, you, as Anders, you would be up front in combat, so you have one of these massive Gorallan creatures with its forearms reaching out for you. Behind you are your spellcasting companions, nice distance away. We're going to have them protected a little bit away from you. But to your right is Brom, the dwarf. In front of you is this Gorallan. There's another one that's about 20 feet away from you, not quite in combat. What do you do, Anders?
So how close is the one right in front of me?
It is 5 feet away from you. It has just hit you.
Fair enough. I will take one of my axes and go for a swing at the one right in front of me for my first attack.
Go ahead and roll to attack.
19.
19 will hit.
Nope. 7 damage, and I do another 7 cold damage. So 14 in total to that one.
14 points of damage.
And you said there's another one next to me.
20 feet away from you. You've got Brom next to you to your right. 20 feet back and to the left is another of these massive monkeys, gorillas.
I will then, with my other axe, whip it to my left to dig at the other one. See what I can do with that axe.
Okay, so you're throwing your axe.
Throw
Okay, go ahead and make your attack.
16 plus 9.
So that's going to hit.
Yep. And then 12 plus another 7.
So 19 points of damage.
Yes. And with my bonus action, I will swing again at the guy in front of me.
Go ahead.
Again, 16 plus 9.
That's going to hit.
Big numbers. 8, 14 slashing damage, and another 7 on cold damage.
Nice. Alright, so slash, throw. As the axe is coming back to your hand, you slash again with your right. Good bunch of stuff. Anything else from you, Anders?
Just as I catch my axe coming back to me, I just want to just roar in the guy's face, just out of sheer anger and rage, to try and intimidate him a bit, just show him you messed with the wrong group.
As you look up to roar at the massive gorilla in front of you. Okay, Ellery.
You said they were kind of separated, so they're not, the beasts aren't side by side or a ways apart?
Yeah, they're slightly apart. They're about 20 feet apart, so they should be within most AoEs, but slightly separated.
And I was going to say, well within my range for most things. Great, I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast, and for my Eldritch Blast, you almost see the blue in my eyes light up, and it's like pure silver energy shoots at each of them. So I'm going to separate one.
Nice.
One for each. So we've got I really like these new dice. That is a 18 for the first one.
That's going to hit.
And the other one is a 17.
That'll hit.
So the first one's damage is 10, and I rolled 2 10s. So 10 damage each to them.
Nice.
And as the one's whizzing by Anders, I just say, duck.
As this blast goes just past Anders' head. And there's a moment where Anders looks a little bit worried, I'm assuming, right?
I feel that going past me, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Anything else from Ellery?
No, that's it right now.
Okay. All right. We go to Simon.
Oh, already? All right. Simon, seeing these two two large monkeys. He's going to move forward slightly to make them about equidistant from him, and then he will raise his arms, and you'll see lightning sparkle from his eyes, and he goes, "No!" And he'll cast Twinned Witch Bolt at both of them.
Nice. Okay.
At second level.
Okay.
So the one closer to Anders does crit, and the other one miss. Oh, yes, it does miss. I'm pretty sure it does anyway. I got a 13 on that one.
Okay, that will miss.
Okay. So do you, for crits, do you do...
Yeah, so my personal, I prefer on natural 20s, which way you got a natural 20. For a critical hit, personally, I prefer to do max damage and then roll the dice again. So what would be max damage for your Witch Bolt?
24 points.
Points of lightning damage, and then roll the dice again.
Plus another 15, 39.
39 points. Okay.
That uses.
Okay. That is a heavily cooked gorilla that is right in front of Anders. It is shocked. There's a bolt of energy that's connecting you to the large monstrosity that seems to just pulse and get stronger and stronger until the thing stops twitching and drops to the ground, fist mere inches away from Anders' feet.
And he'll probably yell out, Anders, back up! Get out of there!
I'm on that, don't worry.
But then the other one missed the attack. Anything else from you, Simon?
No, he's going to stay kind of right behind Anders to make sure he's okay.
Okay. All right. So the Goralin is going to act before Brom gets to act. It's we would have had two, but no, we've only got one, and it is angry that its companion has just fallen, and so it beats its chest, hammers on the ground, roars with its huge tusks, and then just charges straight towards what would have been Simon, but Simon very specifically said, I'm going to go and hide behind Anders. So,
oh, no.
He charges for Anders. Alright. So, leaping forward the 20 feet, it raises up a claw to strike at you. That will be an 18 to hit you, Anders.
No, that misses.
The 18 misses. Okay, just bounces off of that armor that you've got. It's going to try and bite your head off. Literally. And that's just a 15. This thing just cannot seem to get through the armor that you happen to be wearing. You just step to one side and its head just misses terribly.
As it does that, I'd like to spend one of my dice and make a riposte attack because he's missed. Uh, 19 to hit.
A 19 will hit.
6, 7. 19 points.
Okay.
Back at him. Just as he comes behind me, just uppercut and try and get his neck.
And so it's going to attempt to backhand you. With a 21 to hit. Does a 21 hit you? Okay.
Yes.
Simon will reach out and say, No, Anders! And we'll cast Silvery Barbs in an attempt to stop it.
Nice.
Okay. All right. So for those that don't know what Silvery Barbs does, Simon, what does it do?
Silvery Barbs mechanically forces the creature to roll again, taking the lower. But I would think of it as it's like a mind spike that distracts it a little bit and it makes it possibly go wide.
Okay. I rolled the dice again and still got a 21.
It's worth a shot.
So, nice try there. It will swing its backhand for 8 points of bludgeoning damage. Okay.
Nope.
Alright. And now that that is done, it's screaming in Anders' face. Brom, you're just next to it. You're only about 10 feet away from this thing. And what would you like to do? Now, this is your first time playing D&D. Very brief explanation. Your character can move, can perform an action, and if you have skills that allow a bonus action, like you do, you've got a dash, disengage, and hide, you have a bonus action. So those simple things. Typical actions involve attack, help, pick up an object, grapple, like there are sorts of things. So in this situation, what would you like to do?
Be right in assuming that in this gorilla's rage, they have not noticed a tiny dwarven rogue 10 meters away.
Eyes on me.
Okay, so is there an opportunity for me to sneak attack?
Absolutely. You step around its reach to get just off of its flank to be able to attack it. Go ahead.
Am I rolling here?
So, are you attacking it with your scythe or axe?
I will go for it with my scythe.
Okay. So, swinging that scythe, you need to roll a d20 and add 8.
Just as well, I will be aiming at its Achilles, just to try and.
Nice.
And so, what am I adding to it?
Add 8.
15.
15? Okay. 15 does hit. So with your scythe weapon that you pull out off of your back, attacking at what would be your waist height, which is this thing's ankle height, you swipe at its ankle and you do cut into it. You get 1d8 plus 4d6 plus 5.
Five.
How much, sorry?
5.
25?
25. Okay.
I rolled 4 4s on the d6.
Okay. Swiping away at it, it drops to one knee in front of Anders, and turns to stare daggers in your eyes as it screams at you. Spittle hits the bristles of your beard. Anything else?
Take the opportunity just to give my beard a slender wipe and slick it back down, and just growl back in the gorilla's face, showing that dwarven resilience that it does not scare me in the slightest, as I have met death and punched it in the face.
There we go. So, now, Anders, we wrap back to you. This thing is down on its knee. It is, looks like it's defeated. Why are you in the forest? How did you end up in this predicament with this sudden dwarf that's come to aid you? You and your companions, why are you in the forest?
Well, all Anders ever wanted to do was serve his city, and being part of the guard, he felt he could do that to the best of his ability. And then, with everything that went south and that, Vero doing what he did and leaving for the forest, the city went into disarray. He was still part of the guard, still performing his duties. There was one day he was ordered to seal up the church, which he really didn't like. He was like, orders are orders. He had to do what he was told. Which he did, but it really weighed heavily on his conscience because he knew there's people inside that he couldn't help. But this just goes against what he wants for his city. So he waited till dead of night, abandoned his post, effectively abandoned the city, but you felt you had to do that to hopefully bring it back to its form that it was, and set off into the forest to try and find Vero and try and make him aware what was going on and what's transpired in his absence, and try and recruit help to get back in.
So, leaving the city in its corrupt state to go and find Virio in the forest to help him rescue the city. Okay.
Yes.
Before you deal a killing blow on this thing, or maybe, depending on how well you roll, we're gonna jump to Ellery. Why are you in the forest today?
Much the same. The city is in disarray, and I'm doing my best to hide my powers so Morgana and the people in charge don't use me for their horrible, horrible deeds. And so I've finally been fed up, and I decided that I'm going to go find Virio and tell him to get off his butt and do something. Unfortunately, running into Anders, who is one of the people who locked my father in the church to die, we had some words.
Yes.
But
yes.
Mostly over it, maybe. Decided there is a bigger enemy at hand than that. And as long as he can prove himself, she's happy. And then, do what you can. And like I said, tell Virio to get off his butt and fix his mess.
Okay. And Simon, why are you in the forest today?
Well, Simon came back to Skella, found it. How these people all kind of left it. It's like, what happened? Looking for his former friend, his oldest friend. He couldn't find him anywhere in the city, and someone said he had left. He went into the forest to find him and found a heated argument going on between a young lady and his tall, broad friend from before, trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay. And then Brom, why are you in the forest?
Okay, so I serve a greater purpose now. I myself, mortally wounded on the battlefield at the Battle of the Red Crag, have been served as folly by King Athos Almerian. The men and women I was commanding in the army, we were ambushed, a trap that the king knew about in order to try and gain an advancement. He sacrificed myself and my men. I was mortally wounded by a Zerubian soldier, and when touching rasping breaths of death, I plea to the gods to let me enact my revenge against King Athos Almerian, and the goddess Varea, and she allowed me to return to this world on the proviso that I carry out her mission. Following that mission, I was brought to the forest as I was drawn to a light here, which at the moment, having stumbled on the same argument between Anders and Ellery, I am led to believe the light was coming from Ellery.
Okay, so flashback to reality. Anders, this massive beast is in front of you. It's now turned its attention on the dwarf companion you have, Brom. What are you going to do, Anders?
Oh, your voice did cut out now.
Oh no.
He'll be back.
But now
He'll pop back.
Okay. He popped back.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. I now need... Okay. Are you jumping back on the camera?
You hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Catching his breath, he will go for it. He swings, both his axes up above his head, and bring them down. Here we go. Onto this beast in front of me.
Okay.
So 17 hits.
Was that 17, did you say?
17, yes.
17 will hit, yes.
And 15 regular damage. And another 3 cold damage onto
Okay.
that. Right.
So, with its head turned towards the creature behind it, you bring up the axe and you swing. The axe embeds itself deep into the neck of this creature. It twitches towards you, which forces the blade in just a little bit further. You can hear a snap of the bone, a gurgling sound from its throat as blood begins to drip onto your axe. The thing falls limply in front of you.
That's nice. Stay down.
As the creature
It's safe.
falls, there's silence in the woods. You don't hear the usual chirp of birds, the rustle of leaves, and then you do hear a very loud roar, followed by a howl. I'm not going to keep doing the animal noises, but this howl seems to be fighting with that roar. Then they keep going back and forth. Eventually the roar dies down. You hear loud punches and the ground shaking a little bit, but dying away as something, probably sounding similar to the gorilla creatures that you just fought, has been scared off. The trees begin to rustle. You see the grass in the distance beginning to part. A shadow is forming as something is moving closer towards you. A loud howl pierces the air as this beast leaps out of the trees. It is a large wolf, but astride the large wolf is a human male in a long green cloak. He jumps off of it very, very flexibly as he flips in the air and stands proudly in front of you, whips the head back. Well done. I might have been able to finish them off a little bit quicker, but you did a very good job. Can I ask, why are you in my forest? Well, not my forest, but why are you in the forest?
Looking for yourself, I believe. If you're who I think you
Looking for me? A friend or foe?
Yeah. Friend.
Depends if you're going to be useful or not.
Friend or foe?
Oh, intriguing.
Anders,
Can I
Anders, who is this?
I think it's Vero.
Oh,
Looks like
okay,
Vero.
all right, yeah.
I did tell you about him.
You recognize this
Opportunity.
Yeah, go ahead.
Opportunity to just kind of completely ignore Virio's presence and focus on the two dead gorillas in front of me and pull out my lantern to harvest them.
While this new individual is stood in front of you, sizing you up, Brom is performing a little bit of a ritual with his lantern over the dead of the bodies you've just killed. Well, I can hope that you are in fact friends. Actually, real quick, Anders, you
Yes.
were a city guard. Are you currently wearing the livery of a scaler and your guard uniform?
Yes. Full uniform, armor, the lot.
Right. You there. You say you're friend, but you're dressed as a foe. Your companions seem to be very candid in declaring themselves as neither friend nor foe, or both. Why should I believe you to be a friend when clearly your companions, your comrades in arms want me, of all people, dead?
Well, since you've been away from the city, a lot has happened. It's certainly not for the good. People are starving, people are dying. It's just absolutely horrific. And us in the guard have been asked to do things that are basically morally wrong, and I can't take it anymore. We need to bring this city back to how it was, bring some peace for our people. The city is my pride and joy, and it's just going to ruin now in your absence.
Roll a persuasion check.
8.
8. Okay. As much as I'd like to believe that the city guard are now starting to turn more towards my favor, the more likely story is you four are out here hunting the beasts of this land, which, I mean, I'm impressed you survived against these, but there's many more creatures around. I think I better warn you to stay away from the forest if you don't want to die a most horrid death.
I would still take that over living in the city any longer.
Correct. Absolutely. It's just
Really?
it's just I don't know, the words escape me to describe how bad it's gotten. Yes, I still wear the armour, but I still need to protect myself. There's a few guards.
I assure you, if he was here to cause anything but assistance, he'd be dead already. We have an agreement.
Yes.
So, you're saying you don't like the state that the city of Ascala is in?
That you forced it to be in.
That I forced it to be in? I
When you
think
killed Jared and you left horrible people there, still torturing, still abusing, and you've done nothing but hide since then. We're here to see if you will help rectify that. And if you're not, then we're foe, then we leave. And we'll do it ourselves.
Okay.
All this is happening while she's like 5'2", so this is
Yeah.
like a little angry person
Yeah.
calling you out.
You can clearly see that you have hit a nerve with Virio. That comment that he's caused the pain and then he just ran off and hide seems to have really hit a nerve there. Which of your charismatic skills would be most appropriate for you to be using right now to try and encourage him to see your way of things and act?
Honestly, it's still probably persuasion.
Okay, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Look, they're all the same. They're all +2.
Oh, fair enough.
13.
13, okay. Better than the previous roll. Okay.
Better than an 8.
Okay, well, let me be the first to say, I'm sorry. You don't know the entire story, and you don't know everything, and I can assure you that me being out of the city is helping at least somewhat. But you are right. We must do more to save the city of Ascala, and there are things that I want to do that we, as not just you and me, but my friends who are also in the forest, are doing. We will rescue the city of Ascala. If you're interested in helping, there is a task that I have that will start that motion, will begin the work of us bringing the city of Ascala back into the hands of those who love the people, not those who just love the power.
Well, in that case, it sounds like we're friends.
Very well.
I agree with that, yeah. Definitely. We don't want it for power. It's for the people. Needs to be restored back for the people.
Good. Come with me. Now, while he's saying this, Brom, you were doing your little ritual with the gorilla-like creatures. During that little moment where you said your prayer over the corpses and your lantern began to glow, the wolf-air shadow walks up and sniffs at the beasts and then looks you dead in the eyes. Just stares, trying to get a sense of you. What do you do staring face to face with Shadow, the wolf-air?
I my head slightly, kind of weighing up the creature's intentions. I'd come face to face with the wolf-air before, or outstretching my left hand and stroking it on the back of the head.
So for that, I would like you to roll a skill check. Now, I know your skills. So we're going to roll animal handling. For you, it is a d20 plus 1.
So that's 11.
An 11. Okay, all right. It is tentative. There is a moment where you can feel the anxiety of the beast as your hand reaches. It seems to curl up its lips, showing off its fangs for a second, but it keeps that eye contact with you as you reach around to scratch the back of its head, and slowly it begins to shudder with the patting, and then you can feel it calm down underneath your hand. You have made a friend in Shadow. And then when after a moment is done is when Virio is kind of gives a look over at, okay, Shadow clearly is happy with the dwarf, so I am. Kind of attitude, a little bit of a nod, and then waves all 4 of you to follow him out of this little clearing into the forest proper. Traveling through the dense wood, the sun is beginning to set at this now, and the air is getting a little bit colder. It seems like Virio is just guiding you through and around trees, back and forth, almost like he's intentionally trying to make you lose your way and not quite know where you're going, before he steps behind a tree and just completely disappears. As he does so, you follow around that path, expecting to see him just beyond this tree, but instead you see a ring of candle lights just on the floor of a 30-foot wide space. There are little logs placed in a circular seating area that seems a little bit of private space, still within the forest, but the lamplights and the candles are giving this a intimate feeling. And Virio is sat down on a log and just points you towards the other ones. Please take a seat. Rest for a moment while I talk. Shadow comes to sit next to him, and do any of you choose not to sit down?
No, I'll sit.
Brom doesn't sit. Okay,
I'll sit.
fair enough.
Simon stays in Anders' shadow, kind of. But yeah, he sits.
Well, to being told what to do, so I just cross my arms and stare intently at Virio.
So Virio spends a couple minutes doing just a general chit-chat, trying to get to know you guys a little bit and understanding your situations. He's intrigued by some of the details of your various stories, particularly the interaction between Ellery and Anders about the fact that one of you locked up the other person's family in that church that he then went in to rescue people from which you wouldn't know, Ellery. You, as far as I can think about it, you wouldn't know that Virio went into that thing and may have come across your father. He doesn't mention that at all, but he's trying to get to know you a little bit, and he's sharing a little bit, a few details about himself to try and bring that that relationship up just a little bit, to make it not weird that he's about to ask you to do a task for him. At least know the situation. And so that's why I have our little village in the forest protected. I don't want anyone getting in there unless we know that they are there for the betterment of the people, for helping all of us. So that's why we're meeting out here. Long story short, I'd love to invite you into the village, but we'd like to make sure that everything is better. I do actually need some help from some individuals that aren't readily recognizable by the guard as someone connected with us. So you four turning up on this particular evening is very fortuitous. A member of our community, a friend, has recently been captured by some of the guardsmen. He actually does air quotes when he says guardsmen because he doesn't quite clearly doesn't respect them. Has been captured by them and taken into the castle and Codrin's care. I want to get them out. I need to get them out. But this dear friend of ours has, well, they're very special to us. And Codrin knows this. And so he's put all of his guard in the way. I'd love to just go in there and help bring them out, but I would lose more people in doing so. So here's what I need. I need some people to sneak into the city, the other side of the city, quite specifically, break into a certain location. I'll explain the details in a minute. Quietly, and then make a lot of noise whilst leaving the city, and draw as many of the guard away once you're leaving the city. So get in, break in, and then make a huge distraction while you're going so that I can get in and rescue my people. Does that sound like
But you just
something
need a distraction.
Yes, to a degree, yes. Yeah, but
I
not just
feel
any distraction. I'm very aware that our enemies are smart to a degree.
Okay,
They have at least enough intellect to know that we might try a distraction. So I need this to seem like you are actually trying to accomplish one task and draw them towards you. Sounds good?
I think that's doable.
I think I can be flashy.
Okay.
Draw to me, yes.
All right. What I need you to do is break into my home. So, those of you that know of who I am and who I used to be know that I had a fairly large estate within the city. Now, I'm sure some vagabonds and criminals have decided to take over the place since I've had to leave it. But what I need is for you four to sneak into the city, break into my home, steal something from my home, and then leave with it and be seen leaving. He reaches behind the log and pulls out a single long green cloak. Now this is the hard part. I'd like one of you to be wearing this when you are seen leaving. Hopefully you can convince the guard that you are me, and they will chase after you, leaving the castle open for me to go in and get my people. Now,
Does
judging
it matter
by...
what we take?
I don't mind. I mean, I've given up on everything that I care about is here. The stuff that's there is either been ransacked already or of a life I no longer live. So I don't mind. There is a safe in the master bedroom that, if you want, I can give you the combination to.
It'd be helpful, yeah. Certainly
I
help
just
sell the
think it'll
story.
be more believable if we have an idea of, like, if we look like we're on a mission for a certain thing, like you are looking for something. Might
There
be a
is
bit more
a...
believable than you just breaking into your own home.
Fair enough. There is an old family ring that I keep in that safe. It is an heirloom of sorts. You can grab that if you want.
Lightweight, easy to remember. Makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
Now,
he
which one of
holds
you is the right height to pull this off?
yeah, pulls out the duplicate cloak. Which of you is willing to pretend to be me?
You know what? I will take that mantle. I will do my best to convince the guard that I am you.
Brom, whose eyes have remained fixed quite sternly on Virio this entire time, just kind of coughed to draw you to his attention and asks quite sceptically why you think that he is in fact some form of errand boy.
Don't consider it an errand so much as an opportunity
Great.
to prove yourself as a friend of the people of Ascala. And while, yes, this is just a simple errand, if we pull this off, lives will be saved by you. And we can begin the work of taking Ascala back.
Okay, he then looks at Ellery and asks if is something she wishes to do.
It's better than sitting around and doing nothing. I don't like the idea of being bait, but I'm also not the one wearing the cloak, so I don't feel as bad. And she glances over at Simon. Sorry. But, like I said, it's better than nothing. And right now we've got nothing.
He then kind of finishes by saying, well, if as I've been to the light that is coming from Ellery, he has no option to follow, but that is the reason why he is in fact following with everyone else, not because of the task that you set.
Fair enough. Alright, well, rest, take a moment. I don't want you getting lost in the forest. I will lead you out of the forest in just a moment. I think it's probably easier if you sneak into the city under the cover of night, as night is beginning to fall. So I will help you to that point, but I need to prepare to take my people into the city ourselves. We have a tunnel that can get you close to the city, but it is a last resort because it's our only way in and out, and we don't want the guards to see it. So if there is an emergency and you don't have any other way of getting out of the city, and he'll give you notes to a particular tap room that has a basement that then leads you out of the city. But please, we don't want the guard knowing about this location. So, are you ready?
Ready as hell be.
Ready.
So, off into the forest you go again, this time in a much more straight line as he charges towards the south, away from the heart of the forest of Opia. As you reach the edge of the forest, sun has completely gone down. Now it is the beginning of night, and you can see the city of Ascala off in the distance. Good luck, and I hope it works out, and I hope that we can do some good together.
I agree.
Okay.
Fingers crossed no one does.
Go make some noise.
That will do.
So, charging off, it'll take you the better part of... actually, I've never really asked... because I don't have a scale on the map. How far is the city of Ascala from the edge of the forest of Opia, AP? You're muted.
I'd say about half a day's ride.
Half a day's ride. Okay. In which case, if it's half a day's ride, then I should have checked that before. Step back. He will actually put you up for the night, so that you will rest well in the evening safely within the forest of Opia. You will wake up in the morning with all your hit points back, with all of your skills refreshed, ready to go. You'll have a nice hearty breakfast of leafy soup, and then he will provide you with a single wagon and a horse to help you get most of the way quicker. Just asks that you don't take this to the city, because we'll need it later. So use this to get the journey a little bit quicker, and then as night is beginning to fall tomorrow, you can sneak in the cover of nighttime. Unless, of course, you want to try this during the day. Do you want to sneak into the city during the day?
No, I agree. Nighttime would be easier. Hopefully.
So, I leave the planning of breaking into the city in your capable hands. And so, on your journey, you begin to discuss with yourselves ideas of how you're going to break into the city of Ascala without being seen. Now, go ahead. You have various different resources yourselves, and as being a city guard, you might utilize that, but are there any other things that you can think of you might want to try in terms of getting to Virio's home without being seen?
Is the city
Well,
in
I'm not-
lockdown?
Not
Yeah.
quite in lockdown, but there is a heavy guard presence regularly. Now, that being said, it's more like thugs roaming the streets under Codrin's orders. You know that Morgana is not in the city. She left a couple weeks ago for one reason or another. But you know that Codrin is still leading the place down into the depths of hell. So it is heavily guarded.
Leo told us the location of the tunnel.
He did. He said if you can come up with another route, that would be preferable. He really doesn't want any guardsmen to be aware of the tunnel's location. And if you can use it without being seen, great. But he really doesn't want that known.
Okay. So, Anders, as a former guardsman, where would you think is the best point of entry?
Oh, did I freeze? Okay.
Oh, he froze. I was
Well,
worried it was
so.
me. There we go.
We could maybe get some ropes at one side, and I can go through the gate and distract the guards that are there as you come down the other side. It would be a suggestion I might come up with.
Okay.
I think the problem
Go
with
with
that
any-
is you're AWOL.
Well, I've only been
Well,
away. Well, no one really knows. I didn't tell anybody I'd left. I just, of my own fruition. So I could just say, if the question, I had a lead on possible Vero and went to check it out. I'm now returning empty-handed.
fingers crossed
I
you're
think that
goodbye.
might be risky, given that you're carrying Virio's cloak.
I would have make sure that's hidden. Or I could give it to one of you for now.
Yeah,
So
I have an idea, and it's been a while since I've been in the city. Do any of the guards have dogs that go with them?
You know of a couple packs of canine units within the guard, but you don't. But it's not very common. What are you thinking?
All right. Well, if you could give me the cloak, I'll hold on to it, and I will disguise myself. Let me rephrase that. I will change myself into a dog, and I can probably do it to 2 people. It will take,
Interesting.
and then we could go in that way. That will get 3 of us in. With Anders leading us in this. I think I can do that. I gotta recheck a thing.
I'm pretty sure I could just walk in. The plus side of being a homeless girl on the street, no one looks at you.
True, there is that.
Plus that urchin background. I'm getting everywhere fast.
Just be sitting with chicken with Braun being a sort of newer face. If you can sneak him in, that way would be probably preferable. Draw less attention.
My face isn't known, so I could potentially be just as free to walk in as Ellery.
True.
Okay. So is the plan Brom and Ellery just kind of waltz in, trying to avoid catching their eye, whilst Simon turns himself into a dog and Anders walks him through the gate?
Yeah.
And I can always I have a bag of holding that I could put the cloak in for the time being, so it's not seen.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the bag. That's probably the safest bet
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the
So
cloak.
we'll stick the cloak in the bag of holding for now.
definitely. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So as you guys get closer to the city, dropping off the wagon, you cross the river and make your way as the night is reaching its full zenith. You come upon the entrance to the city. The gate is currently manned by 2 of the city guard. The gate is wide open, and one of those guard is kind of slumped up against the side, clearly tired and not really paying too much attention. But the other one on the other side of the archway is stood hard at attention, with a spear in hand, and he is staring intently at everything around him as you begin to approach. Now, Ellery and Brom, just gonna waltz on in.
Before we get there, I kind of like make myself gross and covered in mud, so I just look like a hobo.
Okay.
Like I'm just going back to my corner of a street somewhere.
Use my glamour studded leather armor to change appearance to match Anders's guard's uniform.
Okay. Yep.
Nice.
And
Looking at the guards, would I recognise them, or the one standing with the spear and sort of fresher faced?
He's very fresh-faced. You immediately recognise that this is someone that's probably not a guard because he wants to be a guard. He's a guard because he has to be a guard in this situation. Okay, so Brom now looks like he's dressed in the costume, the uniform of the guard. Now, do you just try to act a bit confident and just walk on through, or do you interact with either of the two guards, Brom?
I'm going to take the opportunity to kind of take the lead, kind of nudge Ellery forward as if we're escorting her dungeons. I'm not going to interact with the guards. It will just make it act like, because Ellery's kind of muddied herself up. She's looking unkempt, like she's been doing something she should not have been. And myself and Anders have caught her, and we're just escorting through to the dungeon, but without just giving inexperienced guard a little nod.
Yeah. I'm falling behind, so Ellery's in front of us.
Okay. So as you're working together on this attempt, I need either Brom and Anders to roll deception, or one of you to roll with advantage. So deception for you, Brom, would be a d20 plus 1. No, sorry, a d20 minus 1.
Oh man, I'm a +1.
A +1.
I'm gonna, as we're going just before, I'm gonna kind of pat Anders on the shoulder and I'm gonna give him guidance.
Okay.
That's at a D4.
So add a D4. Yeah.
Okay. I'll roll with advantage.
There we go.
16, 17.
17 plus your modifier?
That's my plus my modifier, yes.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Total of 16. Okay. Let's see how this...
Oh, did you roll the D4?
Yes, I got a 1, which gives me the 17.
As you're walking through, trying to put on that air and that guidance, the look that you've decided on, that you're taking Ellery in, the guard that's just kind of lazily slumped against the wall looks at the two of you, just kind of grunts with a head nod, and just keeps looking off into the distance, letting you through. The skitterish young guy looks at you both, looks at Ellery for a moment, and then looks quite worried as he glances back at the other guard, who clearly ignores you. Okay, go on in. Yeah.
I just nod and keep walking. And give a gentle shove to Ellery.
As Simon pads past him, he looks up and snarls, and keeps walking.
Good night.
Night.
Okay. And then into the city you go. Now, on this particular night in the city, it's the streets are still well lit. The alleyways off of the main paths are nice and shadowy and dark, and you've been told where Virio's manor is, so you got a good idea of where you're going. But in particular, on this evening, you don't see any pedestrians when you first enter the city. There's no people. You walk down a couple streets and you still don't see anyone. I need each of you to roll a d20, please.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I got a 16.
14.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay. And Brom, what did
With
you
the
roll?
new low accurate dice.
Oh.
A 1. Okay.
One.
Perfect. I was going to ask, did anyone get a 1 or a 20? You got both. Okay. So, something bad happens, but there's an advantage. So, as you are making your way towards the city, as I said, you don't see anyone in particular, but then you begin to hear a scream just down one of the alleys. You are walking down this main path. It's an alleyway that's covered in shadow right now. You hear this scream. It is a female, probably fairly young, scream for help down that alleyway. What do you do?
I
I
turn
book it.
and look at Brom. Do we go and check it out?
Simon was already bolting. That
Yeah,
that
I'm
wolf
already
took
gone.
over and he's just gone.
Still in
We
wolf
head
form?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay. All right.
unless it's been an hour.
It's down.
Charging down the street, the four of you disappear into the shadow. You walk for about 30 feet, and then you realize that the light from the street just isn't penetrating this area at all. Now, I know that Brom has dark vision, everyone else is human, and
I've got the
Simon is in
goggles.
wolf form. You've got the goggles of night, so you have dark vision.
Yes.
As a wolf, you
I'm gonna
don't.
cast light.
I don't.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna cast light on my axe,
Okay. So you cast a little
so it just
spark of
glows a
light
little bit.
to illuminate the street. As you do, and that spark of light appears, you see that the walls of this particular alleyway are just painted red with what looks like a sticky, dripping substance. The corridor, the alleyway, continues on past the limit of your light, which is 40 feet away. You've got 20 feet of bright and then 20 feet of dim, and then 20 feet beyond that is the limit of dark vision. Within that 20 feet area of only Brom and Anders can see, you see a child, probably no older than 9 or 10, just curled up in a corner, hiding next to what looks like a large trash can, a large dumpster in this alleyway, rocking back and forth, crying into her hands, not making any sound, but you can see this in through the shadows beyond the light. How do you approach this?
I will walk cautiously towards her to try and show her we're not a threat. To try and hopefully calm her down. And like, hey, well, try and speak to her hushed. Like, yeah, we're here to help. What's wrong with you? You okay? We had screams. We came to help.
Brom, what are you doing?
As Anders is already looking towards the child, grumble caution that I can sense a lot of death in this area. Something's not right with this situation.
I'll agree. We'll take it carefully.
So, Anders, which of your skills are you going to use to help you in this endeavor?
I would possibly look at investigation, make sure there's nothing else around where the girl and that is.
Go ahead and roll investigation.
17.
17. Okay.
17.
Yeah. So as you look around this area, and the Dane, you feel the aura of death that Brom has mentioned. You look at this little child that looks terrified, and you can see that she has little flecks of red all over her tattered potato bag like clothing. Her hair is all matted and ratted, but you see that her fingers, while she's cowering behind her hands, her fingers are clean and well taken care of, well manicured looking like. Her hands don't look dirty or scarred at all. And you very quickly seem to understand that the evidence on the clothing and in the hair doesn't match her.
I stop walking and I motion to Brahman to sort of hold back and kind of observe for the time being.
Possible, obviously, have a lantern. Would that be emitting light?
There is a little bit of light coming off of Ellery's axe right now. You can use it to light it up, and if you get closer to the little girl, you can bring her into that light.
Can walk forward to where they are to bring more light to the situation for sure.
Okay.
Let's say, take it easy, just be careful.
As you
I'm definitely not going up to her.
Yeah. As you step closer to Brom and Anders, Brom and Anders can see that the little girl looks up towards where the light is coming from. As the area is getting just a little bit lighter, she's right on the edge of your dim vision, and she's still looking terrified and scared, but she gets up and starts scurrying towards the light. Please help me, please help. What do you do? As she's running towards the source of light, which is Ellery right now.
I will step in front of the light to try and block it.
Okay, which will cause the little girl to suddenly stop. Oh, please, sir, can I have some food? I'm so hungry.
What are you doing down this alleyway?
I'm hiding. I don't have a place to go.
Was it yourself that made screams?
Yeah, I was trying to hide from the nasty mans, and I was trying to get food for me and my little brother, but he was going to stop me, and so I came here to hide. Can you help me?
I tell if she's lying.
Yeah, roll an insight check.
I'm actually good at that. 25.
Okay. You are a street urchin. You grew up as a street urchin. You know full well that she is failing at a very simple blag of trying to lure rich people down a corridor to have other people steal from them. And she's just struggling and not really doing this. She's probably a very young urchin, new to the streets, but you catch on to that.
I just look at her and I'm like, you really have to get better at lying if you're going to survive out here. And I just tell everyone to keep an eye out. It's scam.
I'm not lying. I really need help.
Terrible liar.
Forward and a bit more of a forceful, intimidating voice. As this is a child, tell her that it is a wise choice to listen to Ellery here.
Roll an intimidation check, which for you, Brum, is a d20 -1.
Brief. 9, so 8.
8 in total. Okay. So she, I'm trying to think of how she responds to you. Okay. She rushes forward to you with her arms out to go and hug you. I need you to roll, if you're going to try and stop her from hugging you, I need you to roll a dexterity check, which would just be d20 +4. Of course, you
Keep
could
a
just,
hand on your purse.
yeah, Brum, you could just let her hug you if you wish, but
Oh my god, 12 overall.
12. Okay. Let's see if she's at least a good pickpocket. Nope. That is a 10. So she is going to rush towards you to arms out to go and hug you, and you just kind of knock her a little bit on the forehead. No.
You were my lantern.
Yeah.
And tell her to get back. And then just raise my hand to the scythe that's at my waist.
As she sees the scythe, realizes this isn't working out, she begins to backtrack, scurry off, and she books it down the street. You can't see much further than where your light is going, but you can hear her footsteps. Then you hear her say, "It didn't work. Come on, let's go." And then you hear other footsteps just scurry off into the distance. But as she goes, she knocks the large trash can that she was hitting against, and what you can clearly see is a large hole hidden behind this particular can into the wall and the floor below. What seems to be is that she was next to, or you stumbled across, a thief entrance into the sewer systems below the city.
Could be
Simon
handy.
wanders up, yeah, and sniffs it, and then just whines and backs up a little bit.
What's wrong, boy? It's not nice.
Now, you've not used these tunnels before, Ellery, but you can assume from the stench of the sewers below that this spreads out beneath the entire city and may be quite connected. What do you
Maybe the
guys
best
want
way to go.
Yeah, I'll turn to Ellery. What do you suggest? Do we want to stay on the street or go below?
Well, I think it's really weird that there's no one out, like at all. That
Yes.
doesn't happen. There's always some of us wandering around because we don't have homes, so it's strange. And so it might be better to go underneath this time. I can keep us generally on course of where we need to go, but
Okay.
The sewers will link to underneath Varios.
they're close to it should.
So they,
Okay.
bit more undercover.
Sweet. So,
And I turn to Simon and I just go, "I'm sorry, your fur is going to get really gross."
He just drops it and turns back into himself. Yeah, that's a bad plan. I could throw it. I could get rid of boots. Yeah.
Yeah.
all right. So, down into the sewers you go.
Yes.
Okay. So there's a little bit of a ladder. Now, thankfully, these sewers at some point in the past were maintained to some degree. So as you drop into the sewers tunnels, there is a very slight walkway that is just to the side of the stream of filth for the city. The tunnel itself is arched in a barely, I want to say at its peak, it's probably about 4 feet off of the surface of the water. So up against the wall, you've got 3 and a bit feet, unless you're going to be kind of shifting to one side and leaning over. It's not much space. You could obviously walk straight up if you went into the water, but you can avoid the water a little bit at a bit of a huddle. Making your way through these, you need to navigate the sewer system to roughly where you believe Virio's Manor is, or where you know Virio's Manor is. So as a group, we're going to use all of your skills together as a group to see if you can work together to navigating these tunnels. So, first up, we're going to start with Ellery, since you are the urchin and this is kind of your thing. Leading the group through these tunnels, what is the skill that you will utilize? What will you do to help the party head in the right direction and not get lost in the maze?
I probably want to use survival, like kind of like the tracking thing to figure out like beforehand approximately where it is, and then once we're underground, orientate myself to the same direction and try and stick to that. So probably survival.
So go ahead and roll survival.
That is a 16 total.
16 total. Okay, great. Simon, what are you going to use? And you can't use survival.
Well, he would probably in a going back and forth with Ellery trying to figure out landmarks, and whatnot. Use his perception to make sure she's not missing anything. Going back and forth, looking for clues.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Ooh, that's a 6.
A 6. Okay, not very perceptive. Okay, Brom. So, again, I understand being new, you might not know the skills so much, but from listening to the descriptions of the kind of things that they're going to be doing, Ellery is using her survival instincts to stay in the right path. Simon is trying to perceive the world around him. What would you be doing to help the group navigate these dirty sewers? You're muted.
It's because I keep coughing. So I'm concerned about the risk and the danger and us getting lost in this environment. I don't trust as a dwarf. I don't trust the stonework around us. I've still got a bit of an inkling that this could be a trap. Am I able to use Whispers of the Dead?
Yes, you absolutely can.
So, if I could use Whispers of the Dead to communicate with perhaps a lost soul, that would be able to guide through this passage towards Virio's home.
Okay, all right. So, with your Whispers of the Grave, I think it's actually... is it Whispers of the Dead? Yeah, Whispers of the Dead. So, with that, you can gain a skill proficiency that you don't normally have as you get the assistance. So survival and perception have been used up. Perhaps you will use your insight in understanding the spirits that are down here that can help you and be able to understand them better. So roll a d20 and add 5. No, yeah, add 5.
17.
17, okay. And then Anders, with everyone else's skills, what are you doing to help navigate the streets?
Torn between investigation and history. So knowing doing patrols not around the city, I'd have a rough idea of the street surface. I think maybe like investigation might help. Sort of plot between in my head roughly where we are, where we should be above ground, below ground with how the sewer system is twisting and turning.
Yep, that works. So go ahead and roll investigation.
9.
9. Okay. All right. So, as a group, you begin making your way through the tunnels using the skills that you are trying to utilize, some better than others. There's a few occasions where you do end up in a dead end, but in those dead ends, they are usually also a grate or an entrance that is toward, like a little hole that leads up towards the city. On 2 of those dead end occasions, you can hear the sounds of life from above, and you can see. You can just barely see through the slats some of the situations that are going on in the city above. One occasion, you spot a strange huddled individual, an older gentleman, as he's whistling and pushing this massive cart, trundling along a pathway. Through the slats of the grate, you can see that that cart has a lot of bodies on it, as he's just whistling along on his way down the street. But being there, you get a sense of, okay, this is this street, this is this area, so I know roughly where I'm going, and then you continue moving on. A few more twists and turns, one or more backtracks, and you end up getting to roughly where Virio's home is. You know this is the right side of the city. You've got in front of you a choice of just going up, trying to break through a grate that is a little bit closer to Virio's home, or going up one of the maintenance shafts that's a little bit further away, but at least it's not going to require you to break open the sewer in that area. What would you prefer to do? Be closer to Virio's home, but you are breaking open the sewers. That will be noticeable. Or a little bit further away and go up the maintenance tunnel.
Do we want to be noticed now or later?
I think later would be more beneficial. Because we can get in the house, doing to do it, and then a distraction that coming out would be, I think, more often rather than if we make noise now, they're going to be on us quicker. Then we can achieve our task, I think.
Yeah.
Unless, looking at the grate, is it just locked or is it just like sort of jammed in place?
It looks like the road has been built over the grate to hold it in place. So you would be breaking either metal or some of the brickwork around the metal grate to pop it up.
So I don't know if that's something we could do quietly or...
I don't know. Are you guys sneaky at all? Are we going to be able to stealth across the street?
We can try.
I certainly can. Can I just ask the crate, the cart that is carrying the bodies, is that still visible, or are we well
that
past
was
them?
a couple streets earlier. Sorry, I just realised now that Brom would probably have things to say when he notices a cart of bodies going through the street. What would Brom have done?
No, so if we're already past that point, can just make a note that I seem visibly distracted, kind of in two minds whether I need to stay with you guys or I've got that slight of thought of that urge to leave back the way I came. But at the moment, I'm still following the light, which is Ellery.
At that point, would any of us have noticed that sort of wavering in direction?
Probably.
Yeah.
I kind of turn to Brom and try and sort of reassure him. So yeah, there's a lot of dead. I feel we need to stay on task at the minute if we can, and then we can come back and deal with this issue later on.
There's many bodies. Too many bodies to deal with right now.
Just tip of the iceberg in this city.
To which Brom says that the of death in this city is not natural.
Yeah.
And he's kind of drawing a reaction as if it's physically paining him. He doesn't elaborate any further.
Trust me, I understand. It's horrific. And there's so much more of it. But we can't focus on that right now.
Okay.
So shall we go up and try and be a ninja?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So up through the maintenance shaft, it doesn't. It's very easy to get through the latch and into into the street above. On this occasion, as you step up into the streets, I do need everyone to roll stealth checks, please. For Brom, that is a d20 plus 10.
I'm going to pat Simon on the shoulder again and give him guidance.
Okay.
Anders.
Sorry, yes, Anders.
Okay.
Diamond got a 15.
15?
I got 19.
19?
I also got 15.
15?
I am the worst rogue that ever lived. I got a 12.
With a plus 10.
Oh.
That's...
I've seen worse.
Ooh. Oh.
I remember I used to be a soldier.
Mhm.
I'm new to this
It's
rogue
still
life.
new.
Fair enough. You stumble your way up into the street proper, and you can see that while the street looks fairly bare, plastered on the doors, looking quite fresh, like someone just a couple of hours ago went through and put posters up on a couple of the doors of the houses down this particular street, are poster sheets that just say beware sickness inside, and just plastered on a couple of these doors. You walk past them. All the doors are closed, the windows are boarded up. You can see Virio's manor just down the street, and as a group you'll compensate for Brom and make your way towards Virio's home. Now, Virio's manor is a grand place. He used to be a tax collector. If anything's gonna look good in the city, it's the collectors of the crown's coin. This place, while there is evidence on the outside of disrepair, like someone clearly doesn't care about the place, or the place hasn't been cared about for a little while. One thing you can definitely see is that there is a light on inside the upper windows, and someone or something is inside Virio's home. And at that point, we're going to take a break for a couple minutes.
Oh,
We're going to reset,
yes.
toilet break, grab a drink,
Yes.
do what you need to. I'm going to check in with folks that are live. I'm also going to close my window as it's getting chilly. But yeah, we'll take 10 minutes. Okay?
All right.
Fine.
All right. I hope folks that are watching are enjoying this. Thanks for the comments, Rob. You won't lie, this is awesome. Thanks. I'm glad you think it's awesome. I like this as well. I'm having a great time. Oh. So, for those that are viewing, Zakir says the only thing which would make it better would be cosplay. I can absolutely agree with that. I recently got into leathercraft, and I'm actually in the process of making leather armor for cosplay efforts. And there's an author that I made some van braces for recently. I hope she enjoys that. I recently made a couple leather bags. I enjoy the Ren Fair style cosplay, absolutely. Rob loves D&D, just misses playing it. I've lost my team, unfortunately. Oh, that's a shame. I always prefer playing in person, but I'm very glad that I'm able to play with people like this. It's technology allowing us to be able to do this is great. Now, looking into the. Thank you, Rob. I'm glad you enjoy it. I did. So this bag that I did does open up. It's just closed a little bit tight, and my camera's gonna go blurry, but did a little bit of a wolf design in there. I then did another bag that, yeah, I'm enjoying it, having a lot of fun with this. Zakir says, that sounds cool. I'm looking into leather crafting, but I have too many hobbies at the moment. Yeah, I mean, leathercraft is an expensive one. A lot of fun. And yeah, there's a lot that's going on. I've got 7 audiobooks, plus my day job, plus hobbies. So much going on. Yeah. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing all right. On the topic of playing D&D more often, the group of us are planning on starting a full campaign off of this, set in the world of Levanthria, and that we will record it and put it up onto YouTube and things. So I hope you enjoy this. Rob says, nice man, how do you do it? I have to manage a gym, PT, and have 4 kids. You're a personal trainer. I need a personal trainer. I need a personal trainer. Gotta drop weight. Well, not drop weight. I gotta get fit for a wedding. My wedding. That'll be sometime in the winter time. Don't tell you those things. You won't miss a single one. Yeah. So for the campaign, we will record it and upload it. We won't play live, just because technical reasons will be easier to do it that way rather than trying to go live. I failed at getting this live up. Though now that I know how TikTok Live does it, yeah. Greetings, RL Parker. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Our game of D&D is taking a little bit of a break right now, as the players are doing a toilet break. And I'm just able to help answer any questions and check in with you guys that are viewing. So, to catch anyone up that isn't aware, this is my first attempt at running a game of D&D through TikTok. So technical issues may be visible. But we are running a session of D&D in the world of the Levanthria series, written by A.P Beswick, and he will be playing as Brom. Zakir asks, am I going to narrate the Spirit Beasts books? Yes. I have already signed up to do the first Spirit Beasts book for AP. That will be done this month. So, how far are we in? In terms of this game of D&D, we are 2 hours in. We've just taken a break. Very quickly, the situation is Virio, our hero from the first book by A.P Beswick, needs to break into the castle in Ascala, but he needs a distraction. And his brilliant mind has come up with the idea of having the adventurers sneak into the city so that they're not seen at all, and steal something from Virio's home, and then make a lot of noise, get noticed, and make it look like Virio is at his manor trying to steal some of his stuff back, and get out of the city to cause a big enough distraction that allows Virio to actually go into the castle proper and and rescue the member of the community that he's after. So we're just getting to Virio's manor. Rob, love that man. I have all the AP's other books, audio and written. Cool. I hope you enjoy the audiobooks, Rob.
Yeah, Rob is definitely a super fan.
Yeah, good. Good. I'm definitely enjoying narrating them. AP's books have done well at having easy to record short chapters, and the Spirit Beasts book is just not that. They're longer chapters, so
Subtle dig.
no, it's the writing itself just as easy, just as good. It's more, I like, I get a sense of completion every time I can say, okay, I've finished a chapter. And so I feel more satisfied myself when I complete 10 chapters that cover 100 pages than one chapter that covers 100 pages,
Well, Vanity Valor's got an obscene amount of chapters. How short it is. I'm sure it's like 51.
Zakir is hoping to get
53.
down to 53 chapters. Wow, yeah. I think that might be the most chapters I've done. 57, I think, is possibly the most.
One of my copies, and it's very wonky. I'm not happy with that. The printing of that.
Zakir and Rob both trying to make it down to Oswald Twistle on the 15th for the book signing. I will be there.
Yes, as the star guest.
Yeah, along with I'm there as a fan.
Esteemed guest.
I want my signed copies of his books.
And if you guys can make it, so yeah, 15th of August.
I really enjoy going to book signings, like to meet. I know I deal with authors all the time, but to see an author reading their own book and talking about the book and everything, I really.
Who said anything? Who said anything about a read? You will not get me reading a book.
Well, I'll read it for you. That's what I'm there for.
Main fear is no one turning up, so hopefully people will be there.
Well, it sounds like Rob will be there. He's offering to buy a round.
I wish I could be there, but I think it's a little bit of a stretch for me to get there. And I think my passport expired.
Just a little distance. Ooh.
I can do a tour of Canada.
Yeah, definitely.
Zakir says he's bringing some Jaguar car seat leather for me. And you'll have to let me know what you want me to make out of that leather. Zakir doesn't mind taking away all the giveaway books if he's the only one there.
It's one per person.
What was that? All I heard was leather.
So, guys, if you're watching live, just remember to tap that screen as much as you can and get those likes up. The TikTok algorithm does like actions, so whilst you're watching, throw in comments, just what you're enjoying, what you're thinking of the interactions, things like that. Because that engagement's all stuff that TikTok likes to see, and then potentially it'll get pushed out and more people will see the second half of this one shot.
Sweet. I don't know how many likes we have right now because I can't see that.
We're at 1.2 thousand.
Oh, nice.
So, and Rob has done them.
Rob has done. Okay. Well, thank you, Rob. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So while you guys were away, I was explaining to the viewers that if you guys are having a good time and enjoying yourselves, we will be continuing with a full campaign in a couple months once I've had a chance to write a full campaign.
De-stressed.
Yeah. Took me months just to do a one-shot. So yeah, we'll get that going, And it'll be a campaign that goes from level 1 to 20, right?
Yeah, we'll get there
Yeah.
all the way.
For AP, just so you know, the biggest bad, the most evil enemy that any D&D group has to deal with is scheduling, and
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
it almost always, unless you've got a really good group that are really knitting together and dedicated to it, results in the campaign ending at some point. And so I've played thousands and thousands of hours of D&D, years and years of it, and I've never had a campaign go from start all the way to level 20. I'd love to, because that would be incredible. Most adventures end at 13 or 14. So.
Mhm. I am this close to getting my players to 20.
Oh, nice. Well, this could be the one for
Our
you, Adam.
scheduling, even, yeah.
How long has that taken you?
We started that campaign in 2017.
Impressive.
We'll be kind of 5th, 6th season of well, it won't even be the Levanthria series because we'll be on to other continents by then. But maybe we'll have Norse and British folklore all coming together with various teams and
That'll be good.
That would be
winter.
Yeah,
That'll be good.
definitely.
All right, so we're jumping back in. So our heroes have been given the quest to sneak into the city unnoticed, break into Virio's home, grab something out of Virio's safe. He gave you a combination: left 15, right 35, left 20, and told to be seen and make a big ruckus on your way out. Particularly, he gave you a cloak that looks somewhat similar to his green cloak. It's not his green cloak, he very specifically was wearing that himself, but it's a green cloak that Ellery has in her bag. You've just gotten to Virio's manor. You've seen that the streets, somewhat within the city, appear to be fairly empty on this particular evening, and now that you're in the deeper part of the city, you've seen that a couple of the houses have posters plastered on the door that indicate sickness is within of some sort. But now that you're at Virio's home, you can see this beautiful two-story manor house, and there's lights on up above. So to give you a visual of the manor, and I couldn't remember if we got much of a visual from within the book. Correct me if I'm wrong, AP. We don't have much of a design of the house, right?
So as you come through the door, there is the Great Hall. Is kind of you'll go through a small corridor and straight into the Great Hall where he and Gillen feast at the start of the book, or feast within.
So on the outside, from what you can see, is the upper floor is a little bit further back from the entryway. There is a balcony off of what looks like probably a master bedroom on the upper section. The house itself has quite a few nice looking vine plants that wrap around the entryway and have a few old flowers dying off on it. The main entry door is a large double door, arched double door that you would know leads into the Great Hall within this house. The grounds themselves, you could go around and investigate a little bit if you wish, but how would you like to approach Virio's home, his manor?
I think possibly sort of carefully to try and suss if there's anybody inside, and try if it is, try and gauge numbers and that to better plan our entrance.
So, which of your skills are you going to use to do that? Is that your perception? Is it your
I'll
investigation?
go for perception on that one.
Okay, and is someone doing anything that might help you?
I
Tap
was
him
going
on
to do
shoulder
something.
with guidance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Brom?
Is there any ivy or anything growing up the side of the building?
Yes, it's a little bit old. You can see that it's drying out, but yes, there is ivy that reaches up the archway that then leads towards the balcony of the master suite.
Okay. Can I firm hand of it and give it a little tug to see if it's firm against the wall?
You give it a little bit of a pull, a little bit of a shake, and it seems solid. It seems like it'll hold your weight.
Scale the just to peer in through the window that's lit up, just to take a look at what's inside, so that I can kind of feed to the others.
All right, Anders, what was your result?
$22.
What was that? 22.
22, yes.
22. Is that
22.
with the guidance? Okay.
Yes.
So, Brom goes up the side of the building. You, with the help and guidance of your allies, start going around the grounds to look through windows and see what you can see. So, on the ground floor, inside, you can see what looks like a few light sources within, and you spot bodies that are on the floor, but after looking at them, you can tell that they're breathing, they're under blankets. You've actually got a good grouping of fairly tall individuals that are camped out inside the main house, peering through one of the old dusty windows, brushing off some of the some soot or something off a window. You can look in and spot that there are 6 individuals, 4 males and 2 females, by your best recollection, that are camped out next to a small campfire, little stove space, a safe one. They haven't just set fire to Virio's home. It is an intentional little heating stove that they're camped in. They all happen to have the livery of the guard next to their blankets.
Swift.
Okay. So these seem to be members of the guard that are camped out inside Virio's lower, the Great Hall area. At the same time, Brom, you sneak up to get a view of what's going on. Once you reach the top and you get to the balcony, you can see that there is a window open, and you can hear what sounds like heavy breathing. And you get a little bit closer, and it is a very pronounced snore, a good from someone that evidently needs to get their sinuses sorted out, clearly asleep in the master bedroom. Do you get closer? Couldn't hear you. What did you say?
Yeah, I climb in through the window.
Then roll a stealth check.
Roll good.
D20.
D20 plus 10.
Nice.
So that's 22.
22. Okay, good.
There we go. There we go.
Nice. So
You're doing that road stuff.
as you get to the window and sneak on through, you're a dwarf and you've got a massive scythe on your back, but you do manage to get yourself up through the window into the room without making too much noise. You needn't have worried because this individual is clearly way fast asleep. Laid out on the bed, mostly uncovered, there's a bed sheet that is covering his modesty, is this massive, burly individual with a mane of hair just tousled about on the top of on the top of the pillows. Lying next to him on the bed is a massive axe that looks ready to deal all sorts of havoc as this massive man just asleep is. I gotta kill him. What do you do?
Were the items that Virio's asked us to fetch in the master bedroom?
He mentioned that he had a safe that was in the master bedroom that you could go to.
And that was something that Ellery had appeared to take an interest in. If there's a wardrobe area, and start looking around for a safe.
Okay. It won't take you very long to find the safe that is in a closeted space. The position of the safe clearly looks like it's been moved recently, as the ground has a lot of scrapes on the floor. But you can get into a position where you can see this safe and not be in line of sight with the individual that's in the bed. You are there with the safe. Everyone else outside still.
Yes, I think we'll make our way back to the balcony and kind of wait for Brom to see what he's up to.
Where's the rest of that? There we go. Simon is going to try and, stealthily, he's going to not climb. He's going to teleport himself up to the top of the balcony so he can see into the room.
Okay.
And see if he can see, which he probably can't ever see Brom when he's sneaking.
What I should do, I'll hand you my goggles from this one. Put these on, you'll see in. Make life easier for yourself.
So he's going to Misty Step up onto the balcony.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Come on. I got a 5.
You got a 5.
Bad landing.
Cool.
And of course, that beat me to what I was going to do.
Okay. So, while he's Misty stepping up, Ellery, what were you doing?
I was going to cast Silence.
Oh, you were going to, but okay.
Literally, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna, and all of a sudden, he's gone. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay.
Well,
Okay. So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm still looking through the window. I'm gonna cast it inside of the house.
Ooh.
So there's like a 20-foot sphere of no one can yell for help.
Okay.
So downstairs.
The inside of
is
downstairs goes silent. Not even the crackling of the flame that was on the cooking stove, the cooking fire, can be heard. Anders, you step back, you're waiting for Brom to reappear, and Simon disappears in a puff of mist and then reappears right on the edge of the building. Just about not quite falling, and waves his arms as he falls face first onto the ground afterwards. There's a loud ka-tunk, tunk, tunk, as he resets himself. Brom, You heard a crash of some sort from outside the window, and you clearly hear that the snoring has stopped.
So, yeah, I'm going to kind of absorb myself into the shadows of the walls as best as I can.
Okay, roll another stealth check. You're already stealthed already, and you're out of view, but let's see how well you can keep it up. So d20 plus 2.
19. Yeah, 19.
19, okay. I can only imagine that when Brom rolls his first 25 or higher stealth check that it's going to be fantastic, but for now, 19, that's solid.
He's new to this rogue life.
So
We'll get
then,
there.
So you silent, not really moving much. You've got the safe in front of you. The sounds that you might be making are muffled by all the clothes that are in this closet. You can see a half-naked mountain of a man climb up out of bed, grab his massive axe, and start stepping towards the window as he's moving towards the sound you heard outside. Now, Simon, you're coming to, and you see this mountain man, this mountain of an individual, and I'm just wondering, would your character know Lek from the first book?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. So,
I've been gone for years.
right. Gone for years. Oh, Rob has sent a whole bunch of gifts. Thank you very much, Rob. So you don't recognize this man, but he is like head to waist of just pure toned muscle. This massive axe that he's using as much as kind of as a staff to walk next to him as he steps towards his window and then looks out at you, standing up where you are at the top of his roof. What on earth do you think you're doing outside my room?
I whip out my blowgun and fire a sleeping dart at him.
Okay.
You'll try that.
Anders will try that. Simon, what are you doing?
He'll just be like, I was coming to tell you to go back to sleep, and he'll try and cast suggestion.
You're going to try and cast. Okay.
Hold on, this is not the droids you're looking for.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Wisdom 15 saving throw.
Okay. Roll me an Arcana check.
All right, let me just use my spell slot. Arcana. Oh, this is gonna be great. I got an 11.
An 11 total.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As you went to use this spell, and remind me, what is the school of magic that suggestion is?
Enchantment.
Enchantment. Okay. So you go to cast this enchantment spell, and as it lands over this large individual, you realize it just fails. Not because he's he's just too solid of an individual to be suggested upon, but something is actively protecting him from that kind of magic. He is unable to be suggested or have his mind altered in any way by your magic, and you can feel that barrier just hit you. At the same time, go ahead and make an attack with the blow dart.
22.
Did you say 32?
22.
Oh, 22. Sorry. Okay.
He's not that good.
Okay, so 22 is. I mean, he's not wearing his armor, so the dart is going to land in the neck with the 22. Remind me the DC for the poison.
That we didn't discuss. You just said it would be a save.
Yeah. So let me just quickly pull up sleeping poison. Come on. Not seeking sleeping. Stop auto-correcting. Okay. Alright, cool. So he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 13. Okay. Your lucky day, in that as this angry man is about to pick up his axe, leaping, he's in mid-leap out of the window, charging towards Simon, when hitting the roof, which is still silenced from the silent spell earlier, as Lek has, at least now, fallen back to sleep.
As look at Simon. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You know
Quietly.
that this thing probably won't last too long, so you guys need to be quick. Brom, you will have seen this. What are you going to do?
Stairs is asleep, but I wouldn't know that, would I?
You can poke your head out and see that he's collapsed outside.
Side of the building now, so I'm going to quickly, if I'm able to, run downstairs to open the door to let everyone on the ground floor.
Okay. So, with your good stealth, you run down. You notice that the ground floor, whilst there's lots of sleeping guards in here, is absolutely silent. Like, you can tell that all sound has been ripped out of this space. You run through, open up the door. They can come on in. Sneaking through past all the sleeping guards, I need everyone to roll a stealth check just to avoid accidentally kicking one of them. It's not going to be a difficult check, because I'm assuming you won't intentionally kick a sleeping guard.
Do you want me to do that since I'm still on the balcony?
You're fine.
Okay. While they're doing that, I was going to try and pull the axe out of his hand and like drag it along behind me so it's a little separate.
Yeah, okay. Just don't steal it, because that axe, like, that's
No, I don't want it. I just
Yeah,
want him to not have it in his hand.
good, because he still has his axe in the cannon, so.
Yes, yeah. It's big. I don't want
We
to
got
die.
a 17.
17.
Same.
Okay.
17.
23.
23. Okay,
Ooh.
nice. You three
There you go.
absolutely
You're rogan.
just skip past these sleeping guards, back up to the master bedroom. You've got minutes before Lek wakes up again, and you can see the safe. What do you want
Does
to do?
So
sleight
do we
of
want to
hand,
keep going with the safe?
What were you saying, Brom?
sleight of hand help with unlocking a safe?
Absolutely can.
So it makes sense for me to, well, now it's safe because Lek isn't immediately here, for me to start trying to crack the safe whilst you two look for the other items that we've been sent for.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you the code that he gave us for the safe.
So,
And then
Virio gave you guys the combination, which you try, Brom, and notice that the combination doesn't work. So, someone has changed his combination since he last used it.
rude.
And so you just go into safe cracking mode, and that's where your sleight of hand is perfect for. So go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. So again, for you, it's a d20 plus 10.
Nice.
What was that?
Overall,
Sorry, the sound didn't come through.
20, so 30 overall.
A natural
Nice.
20. Okay.
Nice.
Fair enough. So the combination doesn't work. You're like, okay, I got this. And within moments, you spin those dials exactly the direction they need to go. It feels like an extension of your own person, and you realize that while you've been struggling with being this kind of a person, this is starting to feel like, okay, I can do this kind of thing. This is fulfilling my purpose, whatever that purpose is. This is leading me onto that track. So you spin that dial, unlock the safe, and open it up. The safe has within it no ring. You were told that there would be a family ring in there, but the ring isn't. Instead, inside this safe happens to be a lot of paper, a lot of notes. You briefly look through them, and the vast majority of them don't appear to be written in a language that you speak, that you understand. It's very short, quick scrawls, very simple notes and scratches that probably mean something to someone, but you don't quite recognize what they mean. But this pile of notes is wrapped in twine twice around the widthways and then once around the lengthways to really keep everything bound together. And that's the only thing that's in this safe.
So I'm going to reach in and grab it and just toss it to Ellery to put in the bag of holding.
I'll go at the balcony and say to Simon, can you check Lek? See if the ring isn't there. Check his body.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Simon will go over and try and see if Lek has the ring on him.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough, slipped onto his pinky is the Vireo family ring.
Okay. That I'll take.
Okay. So which of your
I'll
skills
put it on
are you going to use to?
I will attempt
to take the ring off of Lek's sleeping body.
I have that. Oh no, I did the other thing. I'm going to attempt to use sleight of hand. So
And I'm gonna guidance.
Got this. Steal the ring off of him.
All right.
Fine.
Well,
we can just pawn it later.
Okay. All right. I got a 15
total.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. You get the ring off. You do, but you do notice that as it's a bit tight. His hands are big, so as you pull it off of the knuckle, the skin comes with it a little bit. There's a bit of a pinch, and his body begins to twitch and shift. He is waking up right now. You've got moments, a minute or so at best before he wakes up from this. What do you do, Simon?
I throw. Do we see this? Like him starting to move?
You will be able to see it, but since Simon is right there with the ring, I want to know what his immediate reaction is.
Simon will react by touching Lek and attempting to turn him into a mouse.
Oh.
Not to kill, just to like. It's the best thing. Like boop.
Okay.
Oh.
So, which of your spells are you using here?
Polymorph.
Okay. Polymorph. He is an unwilling person, so he needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah. Wisdom save 15.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, we in trouble.
I've got another dart. It's fine. I have it ready, just on the off chance.
5, 6.
You sense once again that there appears to be something supporting his mind and his wisdom. The intellectual aspects of his person seem to give him, mechanically speaking, advantage on saves against spells that would affect his mind and require an int save or a wisdom save. And in this case, that does succeed. The polymorph spell attempted fails in this moment.
Sort of seeing the panic on Simon's face, I just let loose another sleep dart into the back of Lek.
Okay. He's already groggy. Okay. With your second sleep dart.
25 to hit.
Okay, 25 to
Okay.
hit. Does hit. Yeah.
The moment you blow the dart, I throw the cloak at you. I'm like, put it on, we're running. Like, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Right on.
Okay.
We gotta go.
So, it's not going to take him long to get up. You've got the ring. You've got this book of notes, whatever it is in particular, and you head out. Wearing the cloak, you know you need to be seen or noticed. That's kind of the goal. So, what is the plan? What are you doing?
Are we going to head back through the main door or over the balcony?
You need to be seen. Without hesitation, I'm going to connect my scythe with my lantern and swing it right back over my head and just whack it into the wall as loud as I can, making as much noise as I can to rouse the guards below us.
Okay.
And I will.
The others.
I will drop silence.
Okay. Now, Brom, your lantern scythe combination, in that combination factor, you can choose to cause an explosion when it hits. Do you do the explosion or just the...
Let's try the noise. I'm going to avoid the theatrics at the moment.
Okay.
Part of me wants to set Virio's house on fire, but maybe we shouldn't.
Small temptation.
All right.
So yeah, I'm going to whack the wall and then look around the room, see if anything metallic or something equally would make a loud amount of noise if I was to whack it with the bladed side of my scythe.
Okay. With a massive crack, the wall dents in where the axe and lantern combination hits it. Couple of the pictures that were hanging on the wall all fall and crack. You can see candlesticks that would have been on the bedside tables in their position, so you give them a swing and they hit with the metal. It starts ringing as it bounces around the room. With the silence spell lifted, you all clearly hear that coming from downstairs are the shouts of, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, Lek, what's happening up there?" And then people are making their way up.
As he does that, I want to open the door and just launch a handful of caltrops down the steps.
Okay. Caltrops on the floor? Yep.
Yes.
Anything else that you guys are
Too
doing
bad.
before you make your
Wish I
escape?
20.
No,
You
just
don't
head
know.
off the balcony.
What was that, Brom? Sorry?
They Anders with Virio's pretend cloak to raise an alarm. So I put, as Anders is about to set off, I just kind of put my scythe in front of him to stop him from running, and just remind him that perhaps he should be the last one to leave the room.
Yes, right. Okay, guys, you go first. I'll wait.
Good point. All right. As you charge out, the guards stumble over the caltrops. You can hear a few, "Ow! What's going on?" Some shouts and some quite aggressive expletives as people are trying to get up the stairs. But one of them does manage to stumble up, sees the cloak, sees you all dashing out and jumping out the window, and he does scream, "Virio!" thinking that you are he.
So, and off.
All right. Now, getting out of the city. What's the plan? What skills are you going to use? Which directions are you going to go? Is it back into the sewers? Is it along the streets? Are you going to try something else? What's the plan?
I
I
maybe smash the other grate to make more noise and go down through the locked grate.
Okay.
Unless you think something else.
No, basically, I can use survival to map out the fastest way to get out of city.
Smash the grate to create more noise, and then having Ellery in front of us guiding us out.
Yeah.
Taking the goggles off Simon, I give them to Ellery so she can lead.
Okay.
So she
Yes.
should go and try and keep Try and keep darkness.
All
If I haven't
right.
used top.
Jumping in, you're rushing off in the direction you need to head out to. Now you don't. Sorry. You didn't use the sewers to get into the city, so you don't. Other than the actual sewer outlet, there's no way that you are currently aware of that would take you out of the city. You could obviously try that route and just go with all of the refuse out of the city if you wish, or you can navigate the streets. But as you are making your way, you do hear ringing bells and shouts from behind you as the loud crash and the hole in the sewer seems to have led the guards to be aware that someone is using the sewers. Brom, what were you going to say?
Used Whispers of the Dead before, when we were in the sewers to have a guide help us. Would that be able to come into effect for someone to guide us towards the exit?
To a degree, yeah. It can certainly help. So, have you? Which direction are you going to head? Are you going to take the? Are you just going to try and find a route to a close inside the city but closer to the exit, or are you going to try the actual sewer grate, the sewage outlet out of the city?
Well, if our goal is to draw them to us, whatever one is going to make that easier. Like, should we make more noise while we're in the sewer? Should we almost stay above ground so the
Yeah,
closest see?
This isn't about hide. This is about if we were to disappear, they're going to be looking everywhere and can find Furio,
Yeah.
who's trying to come in. So we need to draw them towards us and kind of ready ourselves for a fight, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe what we'll do is we bust open the sewer to make them think that, and then stay above ground and migrate towards the edge of the city that way.
I agree.
Give us a little bit of pacing, but they still see the cloak and they can still follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as we're running, I'll throw both maxes against the wall at a distance to keep making sort of noise, to sort of pull them behind us,
Just all the noise.
bounce them off.
Can I get a d20 from everyone, please?
13.
13.
18.
19.
What was that? Sorry. 14. Okay.
13.
Cool. So, as a unit, you do that. You dip into the sewers and then out of the sewers. You run along the streets. You make a lot of noise, but you clearly head away from the castle, which is where you know that Virio wants to go. As you're making your way around the tunnel, the streets and the corridors, you can't hear the sounds of the guards catching up with you, so they're falling behind a little bit. But you turn around a path, you run down a street, and you hear that whistling that you heard earlier, as you then see coming around another alleyway, trundling along the cobblestone streets, is this gnarled man in a cloak with what looks like a pile of bodies on his cart.
I would like to whip round and sort of corkscrew and launch both axes at the wheel of the cart to try and tip it over.
Okay. So go ahead and make an attack roll as you do that. It startles the gentleman who realizes there's a group of people running towards him.
21.
21. All right, those axes embed into that the wheel, causes the little cart to topple forwards out of his grip. 5 bodies fall to the floor. As they do so, you hear a couple grunts. These bodies are not quite dead. They're still alive. And the man looks confused and rushes to try and lift up his cart and put the... Hey, don't do that. No. No. Who are you?
Who do you think I am?
and you can hear the sound of the guards chasing and calling. There's a couple dogs howling. Thieves, criminals, you need to stop what you're doing. I put you under. I'm stopping you.
Can't stop Vero. And I pull my cloak a bit over my face and just book it down closest alleyway.
You just run past him. Everyone
Just
else.
run past.
Simon's like, hey, I think some of your wares aren't quite dead yet. You should look into that. And takes off too.
Brom?
Would Brom be confused, having sensed death, that these men, or these are in fact alive, causing him to feel some kind of connect between death around them, but then not being violent?
Yeah, so roll a check. I'm thinking for you, roll a d20 and let's add 2 to it.
17.
17. Okay. You still sense lingering death on these individuals. These, your understanding and your familiarity with the magic that has animated you, essentially, seems to feel twisted. Like these individuals that have been that have fallen off of this cart have been injured, poisoned, hurt in such a way that they are being kept from death. They are on the brink of it, but they are being kept from it, clearly. Like someone just keeps sticking adrenaline into someone that's about to die.
Saving of them at this point?
It's possible. It's whether or not you decide you want to dedicate the time for you to do it, or continue with the rest of the group.
I would take this opportunity to highlight that it was the light of Ellery that brought me to here, and I believe that this moment is a part in the path and the reason that why I'm here. Encourage Ellery to see if there's anything she can do to help these people that have fallen out of the car.
And you look at Ellery, and she has this look of like PTSD and horror, seeing and hearing these people groan. Like she's already on it. And would I be able to? I don't know if it'd be like a medicine or something magical, to see if there's a way that I can help them.
Yeah. So, which of your skills would you try?
Let's do medicine check.
Okay. And while
that
she's
is dirty
doing
20.
Dirty 20. Nice. Awesome. So, Anders, you're still acting as Vireo, trying to encourage people to chase you. Simon, what are you doing?
I was following Anders, but I want to know if I noticed that Brom would have stopped, I would probably stop too, and call Anders, to see if they're, just to make sure they don't fall too far behind.
Okay.
I would stop and try and come back.
Fair enough. You snap back. As you go over, Ellery, to help these individuals, the old man that was pushing the cart starts pushing towards. No! Please don't! Get away from! They're sick. They're sick. You don't get sick. Don't touch them. They're contagious. And he's trying to get you to leave them alone. Does anyone stop him?
As I'm coming back to catch up the group, I'll shoulder check him out the way.
Okay, which will knock him, he's a small man, so hits the floor.
To one side.
Okay, so what was it that you used, Ellery, specifically?
I just wanted to do a medicine check to see if there was something I could do, like if it's a disease or if it's poison or magic.
Okay, so looking over these 5 individuals that have by now are now kind of up against the cart. They've not been put back into it. You use your understanding of human anatomy, of how health should be, and how and your healing magics that you are aware of, to notice that these individuals appear to have had the life force drained out of them to a point where it looks like they're dying of old age, but they're healthy 20-something-year-olds that shouldn't be at that point. But they've been dragged right to that point, and but being kept alive. The way in which it's done can be reversed. You feel that sense that if they have time to recuperate, have time to relax, the life force that was pulled out of them can feed back in, but they are in a dangerous state by themselves as they are. They need time away from whatever it was that was affecting them in order to heal.
I relay to the group that these people on their own are going to die, but if we can find a way to get them out, we can save them. We just need to get them out of here.
Hearing that, can I... something about this dude that's hauling these bodies around doesn't seem right. Can I cast Detect Thoughts on him to see if I can get a read for what his deal is?
Yeah, go ahead.
So
you get his immediate surface thoughts, which are, this is unthinkable. I've been given very clear instructions to dispose of these individuals. Morgana will not be happy if I can't get rid of them properly.
Okay. I want to delve.
Okay.
If possible.
So he needs to make what save?
With all my stuff is wisdom saving throws. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. And once you've delved in, let me get Detect Thoughts up, just to remind myself of it. Detect Thoughts. Once you've delved in, if it fails, you gain insight into its reasoning, if any, its emotional state, and something that looms large in its mind, such as something it worries over, loves, or hates. Okay, so you get immediately the understanding that that this is an individual that has been tortured by Codrin and Morgana, and he's been given an opportunity to be freed from it by providing Codrin and Morgana with more things to experiment with. And these are the discards, as it were, of the last batch that he helped to bring towards Morgana. So these 5 individuals, he was trying to get them disposed of out of the city when you stumbled into him in this way.
Okay. You guys watched Simon's eyes kind of blank out, and then he looks at him and he's like, "You're helping them." No more. He's been giving Morgana people to test with. Him. Maybe not.
No, I mean, I've been helping the city clean up the sick, get rid of those that are ill. He's crying. While he's doing this, you can now hear howling getting a little bit louder. Guards are running and on their way. What do you do?
What are we doing, guys? Eva?
I want to reach out to whichever of the bodies is closest, and I want to try Lesser Restoration just to see if it'll work.
So you use lesser restoration to try and heal them. And yeah, so as you cast that magic, you can feel the life force leaving you, because that's the way that this magic works. You can feel the life force leaving you and going into this individual. You can see that the skin that was a little bit wrinkled is now beginning to smooth out as it relaxes over their hands, just at their extremities, and begins to relax their grip and their arms. Their body feels less tense as the spell continues on. When it's done, you feel that you have done some good, enough to be able to bring that person around to some awareness of what's going on, but in doing so, you see a flash of terror and fear go over their eyes, and an understanding that this is probably what's been happening. They've been hurt and then healed, hurt and then healed, and hurt and then healed, and you've just healed them, and so this person looks terrified of possibly getting hurt more, so they begin to shy away from you as they do so.
And so with this one, because it comes from my life force, is it the point cost that I would take? So the 5 points?
That's just me explaining. Just obviously the same spells casting rules that we've already been applying. I'm just thematically explaining that you're using your life force.
Yeah, basically I kneel in front of him, and at this point there's like tears coming down my face, and I just say, no one's going to hurt you again.
Roll a persuasion.
But I need your help. Please, because... Oh shit, that is a natural 20. Sorry.
Yes.
I was like, I really needed that.
Yes.
All right.
Well done.
So, absolutely. So, fantastic. So, with that natural 20, you immediately help this person relax. You bring them around to the situation, and you get them on board. Yeah, okay. Thank you, whoever you are. And this fairly, well, I mean, his body looks a bit older than it should, but probably late 20s male individual is now awake enough, alert enough to be able to help you. But as this is happening, a group of guards, 3 of them, with 2 dogs, come around the corner, and they spot you guys and start running towards. You've got a few seconds to decide if you're doing anything else before we roll initiative.
So we can't leave these people. They're defenceless. So my understanding would be for Brom would be kind of a gap between them and the guards.
I look at Brom and see his face and kind of understand what he's sort of thinking and go, okay, let's do this. I put my hand into my other pouch and whip out a handful of ball bearings towards the guards running towards us.
Nice. Okay. So, we're going to roll for initiative. And what was it you said you threw, Craig?
Ball bearings.
Ball bearings. Ah, okay.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
A decent handful.
Yeah. I'm going to pull up the rules for ball bearings while you all roll initiative. Bag of 1,000. Okay.
Yes. I've got a decent handful.
Okay, so, did anyone roll higher than a 20 on their initiative? Okay, what did you get, Anders?
21.
Anders with a 21. Anyone get 15 to 20?
19.
19 from Simon. Okay. 10 to 15?
13.
13 from Ellery. 5 to 10? No. Okay. 1 to 5? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said, AP.
I got a 9.
9, okay. So,
It's getting there. We're getting higher.
He's distracted by the undeath.
Okay.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
Ellery, just so that you're aware, on your initiative, or more specifically immediately after your initiative, the alert individual is able to do actions to help and assist you with whatever you're doing. Okay? So it doesn't require any actions on your part to give him instructions. He will just follow your instructions. Okay. We have
Aaron.
Yeah.
I forgot to add my 4, so I got 13.
There we go.
The whole digits.
There we go. All right. No, thank you. I should have reminded you. All right. So, as we rush into this, Anders, with a 21, you've thrown the ball bearings out. The guards are on their way towards it. They are probably about 50 feet away from you. The ball bearings are 30 feet away from you. And then there's you. What do you do?
I whip out my axes and I wait till they get towards the ball bearings before I throw them.
Okay, so readying an action to throw an axe when they come to the ball bearings. Okay. Simon.
I'm going to cast suggestion on the dude that was pulling the cart.
Yep.
And tell him to let's see, what does it say? Nope, that's the wrong one. Attempt to have him pull the cart kind of in a safe direction away from wherever he was taking it, like towards the forest, and maybe we can pick him up later after we're safely out of the city.
Okay, so suggesting that he leaves the city with the cart towards where you're headed.
Yeah.
Okay. And he needs to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
That is a natural 1. He hops too. Practically salutes as he grabs his empty cart and begins wheeling it past you towards the exit of the city.
They're not in the cart yet.
Would your suggestion be with the people? Like,
yes, I would have phrased it in such a way to get the people, get them out of the city.
Okay. All right, so he rushes over to. Sorry, I was trying to help in the best ways that I could, and so he'll hurry off to do that. The guards will act next. They will run forward. Let's see if they're smart enough to avoid. Nope, they are not smart enough to avoid, so they run towards where the ball bearings. It's late at night. They didn't quite see them. Dexterity saving throw. Okay, one of the guards slips immediately on the ball bearings and falls flat on his back as he slides a little bit closer towards you. The other two do manage to keep running forward, though. As they've gotten to that point, Anders, you had readied to throw the axe.
Yes, I will whip one each at the two guys running towards me.
Okay.
So the first one is 21.
21 will hit.
And 6, 7, 8, and 1.
8 points. How much damage did you say? Sorry.
8 points of slashing damage and 1 point of cold.
Okay. All right.
And then second axe. 15 to hit.
Yep.
It's 14 points of damage and 4 points of cold damage.
Okay. All right. So that's them rushing through. They then run their full 30 feet, which gets them 20 feet
Can I
away
use
from you.
my bonus action to just launch my arrow again at the one on the ground?
Since it was a ready action,
Cool.
not quite. But now we get to Ellery. So now there's a cart, and you've got an injured individual that's also helping. What are you guys doing?
I am going to cast Bless at second level on Brom, Anders, myself, and Simon.
Brom, Anders,
And
Simon. Okay.
And then I'm going to look at the guy and tell him, get everyone else in the cart and go as fast as possible.
Okay.
Get out of here.
So, everyone begins loading up into the cart. Your suggested frail, I say frail, he's pushing a cart with 5 bodies in it. The old man that's pushing the cart begins making his way out of there. Now, for those that aren't aware, Bless is a spell that Ellery cast, which just helps you a little bit more. When you make attack rolls, you will add a d4 to those attack rolls and saving throws. Okay, anything else from Ellery?
No, that's it. I just stand up and get ready to
Okay, Brom.
try not to die.
Brom, what are you going to do?
Of the 2 guards with the dogs, how far away are they?
So the dogs are currently still 50 feet away from you. They haven't acted yet. The 2 guards that are running are 20 feet away from the group. One that fell down is still 30 feet away.
And how far can I advance on them?
You've got a 25-foot movement speed.
So can I get close enough for 15 feet?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so only within 15 feet of them, and I'm going to use Soul Explosion.
Nice. Alright, so you all watch that the lantern that he had attached to his scythe, as he brings it up into the air, it begins to glow with a brilliant white light. He smashes the end of the axe down on the ground, and that explosion just erupts. Now, those of you that are nearby, which includes Anders, feel just this warmth glow. You don't feel any harmful effect. In fact, you feel like you've just climbed into a nice warm bath as this wave of energy goes over you. But you witness as the 2 guards that are right there immediately get blasted back. Remind me, of the effect of the soul explosion.
So it's they must make a DC 14 Dexterity saving throw, taking 2d8 radiant damage and 2d8 necrotic damage on a failed save.
Nice.
As much damage on a successful one.
Interesting.
They both fail.
Oh.
So they take... can you roll 2d8, please? Twice.
Yep. And 6.
It cut out a little bit. What was the...
So...
Did it again?
And then...
One more time.
So it was 2 and 6 for the first blast, and then 4 and 1 for the second.
Okay, so 8 and 5. Okay. And that hits both of them. So 13... Okay. Those of you that can witness this, you watch that this white energy that explodes out briefly takes on the form of the massive gorilla creature that you had fought earlier, as it bashes away at these 2 guards, one of which hits a wall and hits falls to the floor, just unmoving. The other gets knocked back, lands on his backside, not far from the guy that slipped over the ball bearings, actually, and is heavily injured. Anything else from you, Brom?
You're muted.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
Sorry, so following that, I want to disconnect, if possible, if I still have an action, my lantern and hold it out towards the guard who is no longer living.
Okay.
I can harvest him.
That sounds so dark.
Gonna get his soul.
It's all for good divine reasons, I promise. So as you do that, that's fine. The lantern's glow dies down a little bit. You'll need to spend some time to be able to help that soul pass on. But we will move on to the wolves. The two wolves in unison rush towards the person who's closest, which happens to be Brom. So these two wolves together, they use their pack tactics to attack you from either side at about the same time. And so they will attack with advantage, and they will bite at you. The first one is a 21 to hit Brom. That will hit, I believe, because your AC is 18. And the second one is a 12 to hit, so that will miss. So the first one will land a hit for 7 points of piercing damage. And I need you to make a strength saving throw, Brom, which for you is a d20 plus 4. 20. Nice. Okay. So, the wolf rushes up, tries to bite at you, tries to pull you down, but fails to do so. Alright. Anders, we go to you.
I take it the dogs are now up, or is Brom in front of me now?
Yeah, he's just in front of you. So they're 10 feet away from you.
I will step forward. I'll go forward 5 foot and whip an axe each into one of the dogs.
Okay.
17. 26 to hit.
26 does hit a wolf.
And 7 points of slashing and 8 points of cold on the first one.
That wolf whimpers and dies.
Oh, I don't feel bad. It's bad attack, my friend. And the second one is 21 to hit.
21 to hit. Will hit.
And 8 points of slashing and 4 points of cold.
Okay, that is a second wolf beaten and killed. With a little bit of a frosty tip.
Crispin. And is there any other guys still standing?
They're both on the floor right now.
Okay, my bonus action, I'll whip Max at the closest one towards me.
Okay. Throwing a ranged weapon at someone that is on the floor is at disadvantage.
That's fine. 22.
Yeah, it's still gonna hit.
That's pretty good.
Are you hitting the one that had come forward then got blasted back, or the one that fell on the ball bearings?
Yes.
Okay.
The one that got hit, blast back. So it's 8 points of slashing and 2 points of cold.
Okay. As the axe hits and then returns to your hand, it pulls out what appears to be quite a bit of muscle off of this guard, and he is well and truly dead. You now just have one guard that fell from the ball bearings. Anything else from you, Anders?
That is me. That's my done. I just stand ready, watching the rest of the group see what they want to do.
All right, Simon.
Okay, I'm going to see him laying on the ground, and I'm going to attempt to kind of keep him, not really down, but keep him from getting the full effect, and I'm going to attempt to mind whip him. So I need him to roll a intelligence saving throw.
That's a 17.
Okay, so he passes.
Yep.
But he'll still take half damage. He just doesn't get the other effect. 13. half of 13, 6 points of damage.
Okay. Yep. Because halved, rounded down. Okay.
Yeah. And that's the second level.
All right. Anything else from you?
No, I'll probably back away and like move towards the cart to keep it.
Well, this last guard, this lone guard, immediately starts stumbling, trying to get back up, and turns and starts running away from you all. Because that is just horrifying what he's just witnessed from you lot. An exploding dwarf, a fellow guardsman with axes slaying the guard. This is just too much for him, and he begins to run away. Ellery and Brom, you get to act before he disappears out of sight.
Is there like anyone else coming, or was it just that small group?
You know that the entire city is on red alert, but it was just that small group that you could see that you can hear right now. But obviously it won't take him long to get to other guard.
Mm-hmm. Well, while he runs away, I'm going to run to the people who probably don't have gone far with the cart yet, because they're loading it with bodies. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to Lesser Restoration another body.
Okay, to help
and
them a little bit more.
I will look at the other guy and tell him, like, explain that they're safe and that they're okay, and get their help if they need it or if they can.
Nice. And he seems 100% on your side, like happy to work with you to get his people out. Okay. Brom?
Did I harvest the god's soul?
It's gonna, if you want to do it, it'll take you an action to do. So you can do that right now if you'd like.
So that's that's the action I'm going to do.
Okay. All right. So you begin your little ritual. And for those that are interested, it's called a harvest, but it's almost like a forced passing on. He forces the soul of the guard to pass on to the afterlife, where it cannot be resurrected by non-divine means, and in doing so his lantern becomes charged with divine energy for helping a soul move on to the afterlife. So
nice.
You accomplish that task, but at the end of your turn the guards rush off. That lone guard rushes off around a corner and disappears. You all have moments, minutes, you're sure, before more guards begin to appear from down that direction. You've got a cart of people. What are you doing?
I would like to go at the front and grab the handle and start pulling it as quick as you can. Help the other guy.
Okay.
And say to Ellery, if need be, I've got a healer's kit here. Can this help the bodies?
Not yet. They need more than that right now.
Okay.
I am going to hop on the cart while it's moving.
Okay.
Because that's just easier than running beside it. And I am going to use my own life force to Lesser Resurrection the last 3.
Okay.
So I will take the 15 damage to do that.
Alright, so you're taking physical damage, you're willing your life force to drip away into these people. That sacrifice begins to cause the glow that Brom witnesses to just get that little bit brighter. As Brom
and
see that.
As I'm sitting there doing this, you slowly see more tears on my skin just open and start bleeding, and there's like a bit of light shining through it, but it's just like tears for each wound.
Anything else?
Yeah. So, am I able to do anything now?
Yeah, you're free. We're no longer in combat, so you're free to do anything.
So, feeling inspired by what I've just witnessed, the selflessness of Ellery, I run and use my weight and dwarven strength as best as I can to help push the cart, relieving the burden slightly for the guys at the front who are pulling the cart, so that we can try and make a hasty escape.
Okay.
And seeing Ellie do this and the marks coming through her skin, I remember digging into my pouch and I got a healing potion which I fling back towards her. So see her, take this, you'll need your strength later. And keep pulling the cart.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So you're moving with the cart. You're passing through the streets. Where are you going?
To the nearest exit that we're aware of or can find.
You
I
came in
would.
through a main gate that had guards at it. Where are you going this time?
I'm worried we haven't made enough of a noise. Like,
What
we
else?
have
and
to go through
the
some more
entire
stuff.
guard on us.
Be
and
sure
do we
that
really want
explosion.
these? Oh yeah. Do we want these people with us when we go through the gate, or do we want to pick them up later? Because that we would probably endanger them while we're at it.
I think keeping them with us just now is probably safer for them. Looking around, is there any sort of like scraps of rubbish, hay, sort of bundled in corners that I can see?
Roll a perception check.
I see nothing. At 1 for 4.
Ooh. Nope. Unfortunately, there's no convenient pile of hay.
Okay, I will take out one of my torches anyway and light it and just throw it in an area I think might be useful.
Brum, what were you going to say?
If there's any darkened areas, perhaps shadowed areas from any houses that we're passing, that we could perhaps put the cart within just to shield it whilst we are making noise and perhaps draw people away from them and tell them to kind of wait, safe to move on.
Right, so roll a perception check or investigation. So for you, that is either a d20 plus 1 or a d20 plus 2. So
I'm going to tap you with guidance as well.
okay, so you get a d4
So I
on
have a
top of
D4.
17 overall.
that. With a
Is,
d4 as well.
is Bliss still up? Or is that gone now?
It'll have gone by now.
Blast only lasts a minute, so it's
That's a
off.
minute, yeah.
Cool.
So what you actually do with that 17 is, as you're going around the corners, you find yourself coming to a one of the houses that that looks like the windows have been shuttered and the door had been blocked up, and there's one of those old posters that's been put on. The shutters on the windows are open enough that you could see that it is empty inside, seemingly unoccupied inside this house. So that's an option to hide the bodies and carts, is a house. Otherwise, you could go you pass a couple alleys that have turns in them that are hidden from immediate view, but if someone comes down that alleyway, they may see it. What would you like to do, Brom?
Did the posters not say that they were sick people inside?
Sickness inside.
Can I use my perception to check whether death is prevalent in these houses? Or house in front of us?
Your passive perception abilities seem to feel no sense of life or death inside the house, suggesting it is unoccupied.
Again, using sleight of hand, I want to open the door as quietly as possible because I don't want to draw attention to where we're potentially going to leave these people. To open the door and see whether it's safe to guide to take solace while we finish our mission.
All right. Roll a d20 plus 10.
20.
20. All right. So you are able to easily get that door open and get it wide enough to be able to get the entire group inside. You usher them in and close that door, and in the distance you can hear more shouting from the guards that are still apparently chasing you, but you seem to be safe in the dark of this home. It's quiet. The house appears to be lived in, but empty right now. As you collect yourselves to try and decide what to do, what do you do?
I'm slowly going to try and calm the people and just explain that they have to stay here and be as quiet as possible because we need to be a distraction to get them away. But I swear we're going to come back for them and we're going to get them out of town and they will be safe.
Okay.
The 2 that you've healed already, the 3, have you healed all of them now to a certain
All of
degree? All of them.
Yeah,
So,
I did lesser restoration to all of them. So
okay, so are they well enough to move on the cart?
They seem well enough that they are coherent. They can absolutely follow instructions. They're not really strong enough to walk at a quick pace, but they can definitely move on the cart.
Everyone agree that this distraction that we're going to carry on making needs to draw the guards away from the main gate so these guys can escape towards the forest to find sanctuary.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, we need to be a dual distraction now for them and from Virio.
Yeah. No, agreed.
So
Are there any
the guy that
side?
suggested just looks at Simon and asks, "So what do you want me to do?"
You're gonna give us a little bit of time, and then once you hear the loud noises, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be noticeable. You're gonna notice.
You'll know.
You can head for the main gate with these people and get out. Unless is there a side, like a smaller side gate anywhere in this district, or is it like, there's only so many main gates?
Well, yeah, I was going to use the eastern gate to get out of the city myself.
Are we on what side of the city
So
are we
you
on?
would come in from the north. Is the gate that you came through, because you came through the first one. You're actually over towards the southern area because you're still kind of in Virio's home district area, which is away from where the castle was.
Okay, so, well, if you're going to go out the eastern gate, we should be good to keep going. We'll go the way we were going. The southern gate, and draw as many people there as we can.
Guy be trusted with these, and this guy be trusted to head to the Forest of Apaya, or is he in cahoots with Morgana?
As long as I don't get injured, he should continue to do what I've told him to do.
Okay, so we need to keep you safe.
So Simon has just casually hinted at mind control magic, just in case people missed that. Okay, mind manipulation. All right. So how do you want to continue?
So we're going to head out the house.
You need to heal up, don't you, Ellery? Or have you already healed up?
I'm okay. Because when I cast spells, it gives me temporary hit points, which is nice. So I'm okay.
You need
Did you already?
Pardon?
Did you already go through all of your spell points?
No.
Oh.
I opted to do those ones with my body instead to save spell points.
Okay.
So we've got the health point.
Yeah.
We need to get out and make as much noise as possible, don't we?
Yes.
Away from this building.
Is there anything in the house we're at, sort of metallic, like a pot or something that I could grab? Just
Yeah, there's plenty of cookwares in the kitchen.
I'll grab some metal items and throw them to the guys. Here, grab these, and we'll, as we're running out, just start banging them to draw attention away for a
Okay.
little bit.
All right. So as you set off the old man pushing out the way, he was planning to get the bodies out of the city anyway. So whatever he's going to do.
Now they just happen to be alive.
Yeah. You
Feels better about-
start heading off towards the south. We're going to do a skill challenge to see how well you can get out of the city with whilst making a lot of noise. What you need to do to be able to succeed at this, to be able to say that you got out making enough noise, you didn't get caught, you didn't get stopped, or you didn't fail, is we need 4 successes before we get 3 failures. Okay? So, as a group, let's roll for initiative. So, D20 plus 4, Brom.
Ooh, yeah. All right.
So, did anyone get over 20?
I got 20 exactly.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay, anyone get over 15? Nope. Over 10?
11.
11 and Brom?
13.
Okay. And what did you get, Anders?
4, just
4.
4,
Okay.
actually 7, 4, 5, 7.
Oh, okay. Cool.
7 took my.
So, Simon, you are first. So, rushing through the city, trying to make noise, trying to get out without being caught, like, kind of both a little bit off one another. What are you going to do? Now, doesn't have to be just your skill. It doesn't have to be a spell. Like, what are you going to be trying to do?
Okay. I think I'm probably going to be best at drawing the attention first off.
Okay.
Because we need more attention drawn to us. So I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna do that. So the old guy, he's going to the forest anyway. Like he's going out of the
Seems like
city
he's
anyway.
Yeah, you know that your magic works, so he's gonna get the people out of the city.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out a wand I have in my pocket. It looks kind of like it wasn't quite finished. And I'm gonna point it into the air and loose off a lightning blast, just straight up, which it makes the loud thunderclap, the whole shebang. It's also a weird color. Like it's a red lightning blast instead of a normal blue. I'm not trying to do any damage. I'm just trying to make like, hey, look, lightning. Why is it red? Why is it here? Go in that direction.
Roll an Arcana check.
All right. 13.
13. Okay. So, Brom, what are you going to be doing to help in this endeavor?
Can I explosion, but not aiming it to cause damage to anyone, just to create a big flash of light, similar effects to what Simon's doing, just to kind of amplify the power that's coming from this area?
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So let's have you roll. Just roll a d20 plus 8.
Okay, that's 25.
Okay, alright, solid. Ellery.
I am going to just try keeping us on path for where we need to try and exit. Survival skills.
Okay, go ahead.
Because we don't need to get lost. 17.
17. Nice. Okay. And then Anders, what are you doing?
Looking around, where we are, there's quite a lot of sort of house windows and stuff around us.
Yep.
I would like to start whipping some ball bearings at the glass, just making loud noises.
As you guys are running through, making all these noises, you're seeing candle lights going on in houses that you're obviously waking up as you go through. Go ahead and make an attack roll, let's say, since you're throwing ball bearings. So a d20 plus strength plus your proficiency.
Nat 20.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Nice.
For 27.
27. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, it's worth noting that after that full round of the 4, you have 3 successes, 1 failure, and one of those successes being a crit. I'm going to say you still need to get 1 more success, but we're going to give you 3 more failures. So instead of getting just 2 more, you got 3 more. So an extra failure before you failed, if that makes sense. I don't think I worded that right. We're going to go back up to Simon.
It tracks.
So,
Okay.
Simon, what are you going to do? There's a lot of noise being made. What are you going to do in terms of getting out of the city?
Oh, nothing's good at the moment. I guess I'm going to try and see if we're going the right direction. Just use my perception to make sure that everything's. See if it's working. If we're going the right direction. If
okay, go ahead and roll perception.
I don't trust you anymore. Ow, that was a fail. I got a 3. Well, 6, but.
Okay, so you need 1 more success, and you got 2 more failures before you guys fail and get captured. So, Brom.
Where is Anders from me?
In and around you, it's all kind
So
of.
are we stationary or are we still moving?
Yeah, you're still moving.
I'm well is the one wearing the Vireo costume. So I'm going to kind of slam my staff into the ground, my scythe into the point towards the exit in the direction that we need us to head in, hoping that kind of cloak tailing off behind him continues to catch the attention of the ensuing guards.
Okay. So, trying to think of what we can have you roll for that.
I'm a Varaya. I tell them, if need be, I'm happy to stand my ground to buy them time.
Okay. Roll just a straight d20.
God. 1.
1.
Oh,
okay.
no.
All right. So,
Inspiring as it could be.
as inspiring as that was, Ellery, it comes down to you. Success or failure of whether or not you guys are cornered by the guards or make it out successfully having made the distraction comes down to you. Ellery, what are you going to do?
And so at this point, we're almost near the exit. Do we know if we've done enough to draw everyone? Like, we're sure?
Yeah, by now you've made so much noise. There's still light flashing in the sky from echoes of thunder. And you can see the gate is in front of you. In fact, we'll say that there is a guard gate at the south that is straight ahead of you, and there are 3 guards stood there. They are turned towards the lot of you with shield and spear out to stop you. What do you do?
I hate doing this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to use Guiding Bolt
Okay.
and shoot the one in the middle.
All
And
right.
hope to God it scares the crap out of the other ones enough that they don't do anything.
Make an attack roll.
First deciding what level. It's just first level.
Okay.
That is 21.
Okay. Roll the damage for Guiding Bolt.
Oh, that's a good roll. 16 points of damage
16 points of damage. You
directly to
launch
the dude in the
this
middle.
blast of energy towards the middle guard, and for you, because you're still doing more of the holy magic, it's a yellow beam that seems to curl around in a bit of a spiral as it seeks out the target of the guy in the middle. It hits him right in the chest. He crumples in. You can hear the metal of his chest plate breaking away from the force. As he is thrown backwards, you can see that his body is glowing with that same energy, which startles the two on either side, who look, drop their spears. The guy in the middle falls to the floor, and you all run straight through. The city of Ascala just watches as three individuals and one in a green cloak disappear off into the distance towards the south, off and away. And feeling confident you did what you needed to do, we will end the session there. Well done, everyone. You successfully
Nice.
got in. You made it into Virio's house. You didn't fight Lek because, FYI, he has plot armor. That wouldn't have gone well. So, well done to each and every one of you, and good job on succeeding getting out and doing a good job of saving some other people as well. You slowed yourselves down by taking the time to help them, but you did do that. So well done, our heroes.
Nicely done.
Done.
And more than likely, the last thing those guards heard as we ran out was, "I'm sorry," as I ran by that guy.
Sorry about that.
Well, thank you to those that are still watching in the chat. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, I am going to write up a cleaner, neater, more balanced version of that into a PDF version that we will that AP Beswick and I will be making available for people, and you can adventure in Levanthria yourselves in the near future. Isn't that going to be fun?
That was tense.
That was great.
That was tense.
Starting to get a little sweaty from it. I was
say-
like, oh no.
Oh,
Anders, you are.
Yeah.
I love those axes. That was, yeah. Yeah.
For me, guys, can I just say, first and foremost, thank you so much, Aaron. That was very privileged to have you on and kind of leading this. Like, for me, as a first-time player, I could literally carry on doing this till 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, I am
Hooked.
energized. Like,
Yeah.
that £200 investment on D&D stuff yesterday isn't seeming like a waste of money. Like,
No.
Uh,
It's a way of life.
I enjoyed that so much, and thank you guys for your time in creating your characters and getting engaged in this project. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you guys have as well, and I'm really excited to see how this progresses, and definitely need to carry on playing.
We will.
Welcome to the addiction.
Yep, for the campaign that will happen, because it sounds like everyone's excited, we will run a full campaign in the world of Levanthria. We will start at level 1, so that it will be a while before our heroes have all the incredible equipment that they had that helped them with this today. But thank you. I'm going to sign off now on the TikTok. So thank you everyone that's viewing. This has been recorded, so it will be uploaded in places for you to view. But do please, if you enjoyed this and you aren't already following A.P Beswick, you definitely need to, because he's got some great stories to tell.
Yeah.
All right.
Just scratching the surface.
Well, good night, everyone. There we go. Live has ended.
Okay.
3 hours and 38
Okay.
minutes.
Well,
Wow.
fantastic, guys.